Okay, StreamYard really let me down there. They played like 10 seconds of my intro. So I'm going to replay the intro because it's boss. Cost me money. Okay, let's go. Okay, that's better. Welcome to Omnidog's Vault. Here's my mic. Thank you. Omnidog's Vault. Election night, no politics special. We're talking comics, pop culture, Norwegian assassins, Doctor Who, what blood type you are, anything but politics. Anything. But anybody that talks politics in the chat, Jake has already escorted a few of you out. So peace and love, peace and love. We are doing this to avoid any politics. We want to have fun, right? We've got Jake from the Brave and the Boys, Fifth of Jack Gaming, and for the first time on Omnidog's Vault, the fabulous Norwegian assassin Lars from Mad Norwegian Press. What can you tell us about yourself, Lars?
Yeah, Lars Pearson, publisher and editor-in-chief of Mad Norwegian Press, formerly of Wizard Magazine. And yes, I am on this show for the first time being deflowered, as it were. And
what kind of flower? Is it an orchid?
It's a sort of daisy. And I'm recovering from being overstimulated because those of you can't see on the show when we're in the waiting area, Jess has some sort of erotic, lurid Harley Quinn screensaver that's got my blood pumping here. So I'm trying to recover from that, really.
Yes, I am obsessed with Harley Quinn. And Jake, would you like to introduce yourself as the you're like my co-host tonight? How are you doing?
Yes, I am. You know, hey guys, I'm Jake. I'm online sometimes on the Brave and the Boys. I make little guest appearances. You might know me from the trivia question I got right about Lars on Very Fine Jeopardy. So no one else knew what issue, what DC comic he was in a little cameo of, but I knew because he told me the first time I met him. Within 10 seconds, I was like, "Hi, I'm Jake." He's like, "Hi, I'm Lars. I was in Lobo," and I was like, "Okay, Mister, sure you were." He was like, "No, I wasn't a wizard. I was in Lobo."
It's possible that Jake is shading the truth a little bit there.
I call it
I don't go around saying I was in an issue of Lobo, but it's true I was. But
yeah. You know. So he will sign your compendium if you pay him.
And also on the channel for the first time, Fifth of Jack Gaming. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. Your beard is epic.
I try.
The
joys of being a postal employee. I get to do the beard thing.
Nice. Okay. Well, God bless the post office.
Right?
Yeah. She delivers. We have a young woman who delivers, and I always apologize, really heavy boxes from various online retailers that are like 30 pounds of omnibuses. And she's like, "Here it is. Here's today's." And I'm just like, Thank you. You're so nice. And then she picks up what I want to sell from eBay. So U.S. Post Office is okay with me. I love them.
And he ships everything media mail, ads or no ads.
Well, you know, Ground Advantage is now cheaper than media mail. eBay doesn't even offer media mail anymore. Everything's Ground Advantage.
Okay. I shipped media mail for the first time the other day because the person was in Puerto Rico, and I didn't realize, because I'm such a stupid, vapid American, I didn't realize that they were a territory. So I was like, I said no international shipping. And he was like, "Dude, I'm a territory. You can do media mail." So I take my package to the post office, and he's like, "What are you shipping?" And I go, "Omnibuses." And he is like, "What are those?" And I said, "You know, like on Omnidog's channel." And he made me bust open the package to show him that there were no ads.
Oh, wow.
Like, whoa, Postal Employee of the Year.
Yeah, I've been trying to get them trained up about that. I went down to training, and I'm like, "Can we end up running this?" They're like, "No." Or like the big Toshin books and whatever. They're like, nope, it has ads, but they're not even valid ads. They're like, well, it doesn't matter. Ads are ads. What
Wait,
the
I shouldn't
heck?
have ripped
They're-
the
yeah,
I
they're
shouldn't
like-
have ripped the ad out of my Tashin and sent in 25 cents to get spider monkeys.
I love those ads. Selling copies of Grit. That's definitely was on the some type of Legion of Superheroes book that I had. Okay, so everybody's been introduced, and let's see. This is just the four of us right now. And Jake, have you already ordered dinner?
No,
Or are you
I was
waiting?
waiting. I was waiting to do it together. You know, I thought it would be a moment. But can we talk about why you didn't use the thumbnail I sent you? I created.
I forgot.
Can we
you want me
just
to?
show? Can we just show the image so everyone can see what I would have created for your thumbnail as your intern and Ward?
I'm sorry, I can replace it. Just a sec.
He also tells me he can replace me all the time.
This is actually
Like,
really
what's the
good.
AI?
I should have. Yeah,
When I worked in Hollywood, well, sorry, I say worked in Hollywood. I
worked in Hollywood. Did
I
you work in
spent-
Hollywood as a Lobo?
I shouldn't say Hollywood. I spent a year in Los Angeles working for a portal site, and in that culture, the big thing is that if they don't like you, they keep going. We're going to replace you with an intern. You know, this is their big threat. We're going to replace you with an intern. And I suppose now it would be we're going to replace you with AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake, do you find the threat has changed over time?
I feel like I like that quote that says, "I don't want AI to make my art and stories so I can do my laundry. I want AI to do my laundry so I can do art and stories." You know, so I
I
feel like a good
agree.
intern knows how to use AI effectively and not in a way that puts people out of jobs. You know, so like today I had a task. We had like 160 brands that we sell at my company, and he was like, "Write a sentence about each one for the website." Did it in 10 minutes with ChatGPT. You know, that's called being a smart employee. But it's not like I'm going to put a comic book writer out of a job. You know, I did it for a menial task. But
Yeah.
no matter what, Jess will replace me. I know that wasn't the question. That was a roundabout answer.
Here is Jake's thumbnail. We'll let the audience decide. Would they rather see this as the thumbnail?
My God.
So this is Fine Dog, which is awesome. Everything's burning around him in the coffee cup. So that is really good. I'm happy to replace it. The one that I did. You can tell the thumbnail tonight was done by me.
Well, although it should
Even put the paw print.
where alternatively it should be screaming, "I am the law." I mean,
It's true. This is fine. So yeah, if
Wait,
the
can I do a
audience
poll?
wants me to replace this, Alexander says replace it, Jess.
Let me see if I can
Okay.
do a poll.
Okay. That'd be great if you could do a poll. I'll leave it up.
I have to say, as a postal employee, I am glad that has the no politics, because the last thing I want to see is more politics.
I bet. Yeah, same.
someone in the chat weirdly has been asking if I, because of my mention of LA, if I worked at a porno site. No, it was not a porno site. Although we were literally across the street from Larry Flint Publications.
Wow.
I for about 6 months worked. There was a portal site in LA called
Portal.
Thirsty.
Portal site.
Portal.
Okay.
Yeah, portal site, meaning they did different kinds of news coverage, and called Thirsty.com.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
they didn't last long. They lost $9 million.
Whoa.
They were killed in the .gon era. What was really funny was that, I mean, you know, back then everything was so rarefied, you know, and so I wrote their second biggest article ever, and their second biggest article was weirdly Lucasfilm had bought a bunch of domain names. And I was just doing some off the cuff analysis about what these domain names might indicate about Attack of the Clones, because Attack of the Clones wasn't out yet. And like that article about domain names got picked up all over the place. And like, I heard it was being played on like Oklahoma radio and things like that. That was their second biggest article. Their biggest article, their biggest hit, was that the Celebrity Channel had exclusive pictures of Britney Spears' breasts.
Oh, I know that website.
Yeah, it's true. And I really like that one. The funny thing was, I mean, like the shot wasn't even that candid, but it was exclusive pictures of her breasts. And every time, because you always had to keep your channel, had to, you keep up the ratings, all right? So you had to do things to bump the ratings. And that channel, anytime they needed a ratings hit, they would rerun the pictures of the breasts with the title "Tit Me Baby One More Time."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I wish I were making any of that up, but I'm not. Well, because we were trying to find journalism, for God's sakes.
And now James is gonna link the defunct link to the photo.
Can it be? Well, can it even be? I assumed it was all gone. Can it even be found?
How did you already put the link in the chat or something for this?
It's in the chat. It's only gonna show up on the YouTube side, but I presented the screen so you can see it is a neck and neck tie, more or less, if with a margin of error. Okay, now it's getting worse.
Do not replace suggest Labruski. This whole idea was Labruski's idea. And so credit to you, Labruski. And it seems like a lot of people are interested in just talking about anything other than what's going on in the world. So kudos to you, Labruski.
Nicely done. Magic the Gathering?
What's that now?
Does that include Magic the Gathering?
You know what? I'm gonna have to. If it includes wrestling, it's probably gonna include MTG, D&D, whatever. You know what? Anything but politics. If you want to talk Magic the Gathering, I wait for Bunk. Bunk might show up for 10 or 20 minutes. So wait for him. He's big in that MTG world.
Did you order your food, or are we ordering?
No, I forgot. I was looking at the chat.
I'm telling you, Jess, grilled cheese burrito, seasoned beef. Try the grilled cheese burrito and see how far fast food has come.
Where in the heck are you ordering that from?
Taco Bell. Taco Bell. I have to get. This was an age thing for sure, because Jake and I were on the phone earlier, and I was like, oh, it's going to be dark. I have to leave the house and go to Taco Bell and get it and come back. I'm just going to make myself a sandwich. And I was whining, and he goes, dude, are you aware of a service that actually brings the food to you for like $5? You don't even have to leave the house. I'm like, oh yeah.
For $6, you can double dash and then also get a McFlurry.
Okay.
Yeah. Or what did you teach me? It was the Oreo McFlurry with hot fudge on it.
Yeah. Get the hot fudge sauce on the Oreo McFlurry.
I remember making those.
But I told him, I was like, dude, I was verging on politics. I'm saying, you live in DC, I'd stay home tonight. You never know what's gonna happen.
That is true.
Do you have a garage so you can park the car and make sure it's safe?
Oh no, it's actually, my car's not even here. When my wife took it on the trip to New England, it got dented a little bit, no fault of hers, and like 2 tiny paint chips were missing, and I took it in the shop last Wednesday, and it's going to be ready tomorrow morning. For 2 tiny paint chips, they had to take the whole fender off, replace the little quarter panel, and then reattach the backup sensors and everything. It was a pain. But
so, do I get the Crunchwrap Supreme because it's buy one get one free? I don't even really like it, but it's you get one for free if you buy one.
Oh so man, I love Crunchwrap Supreme.
I'm leaving money on the table.
The answer would be no if you don't like it.
I don't know what I like.
Crunchwrap Supremes. Wait, all right, wait a sec.
Jess, I'm telling you, get the Mexi Melt from the 80s. That's okay. And then compare it to the grilled cheese burrito so you can see your generation's Taco Bell versus mine.
Where is the Frito burrito? Nacho seed. Oh, okay, wait.
I'm sorry, everyone in the feed. You must be overwhelmed with the excitement as Taco Bell is being ordered here.
See, you're not used to our Omnidog's channel.
No,
I'm not. We're like content professionals.
Is this how it normally goes?
Yeah.
This is more Andy Kaufman-esque, you know what I mean? Like people will I remember one time I ordered a McFlurry and people stayed on just to see me try the new McFlurry flavors. So,
Yeah.
Took us, what, 45 minutes one time talking about ice cream?
Although, as long as we're digressing, so I got together with some college classmates over the 4th of July. I hadn't seen them in quite a long time, so we got together. And like you do, you wind up comparing murder stories. You know,
murders you've committed, or just murders in the zeitgeist?
No. Well, murders that were kind of adjacent to you, that happened, you know, when you were in the vicinity. And one of my college classmates, and apparently this was a real thing, worked at a company where one person tried to murder another person with drugged ice cream, because the one person in this company was like, he was going around selling fake investments. You know, he was like going, "Hey, I've got this company in China, invest in this company, da da da." And the other employee started asking too many questions about it because he smelled bad fish, you know, and he's like, "I might like to visit this factory," and so on. So one day the other guy shows up and there was a knock at the door, and there's a scam guy. And he's like, "Hey, buddy, I was just in the neighborhood and I got these ice cream smoothies from McDonald's. Wouldn't that be great if we just kind of drank them?" He's like, "Oh, okay." And it knocked him out. And when he woke up, he was in the garage, tied up, and both car exhausts were going.
Whoa.
You know, the plan must have been to knock him out with drugged ice cream and then tie him up in the garage and then make it look like a suicide, you know? But he was a terrible murderer because one wonders if the drugged ice cream delayed the absorption, you know? So that was a problem. Then he didn't tie him up properly. So the guy gets out, staggers into the kitchen, and he's looking out the window, and the would-be murderer is cropping up in the windows trying to see what's going on. And then the would-be victim had a torrent of profanity, went and called the police, and they quickly arrested him. So, yeah. So what do we learn from this? Drugged ice cream is not the best way to murder somebody.
Well, it depends on the drugs and depends on the ice cream flavor.
Right. And how about if we turn it...
sounds...
I'm with Jake. I want drugged ice cream, but I want to be tied up by a female murderer. Have the female murderer come give me drugged ice cream and tie me up. I will not be knocked out by the drugged ice cream because I have an extremely high tolerance for drugs. And we'll do, yes, perfect. I've got thank you.
I sort of hear like...
I've got my fanfic for the night now.
I sort of feel like what Jake is saying is just, well, we need to workshop this.
Yeah. See, I've learned one thing. It's yes and. Okay, my Taco Bell is ordered.
Oh, okay. Did you get the Lux? Did you get the Lux Cravings box?
So I don't get fast food much anymore. So it's like very rare now. And you know me for a while. Every night, Jess would text me and say, "What was the dessert you and your wife got?" Yeah. And I'd be like, "Well, it's a banana split train." And it's like, it's like the most excessive things in the world. I don't know what it was, but because me and my wife were homebodies and we're also dinks that have 3 cats. So we just stay home, watch movies. And, but now back then I colored in the line. So get the box. That's a good value. This one, I just went a la carte with my items and didn't color inside the lines. But I do have something fun to show off. If you guys want to see comic book related.
Let me say hi to a couple people. Vanessa's here. Great to see you. Alon here. Welcome. Omnidog's Thumbnail Supreme. I don't want store brand when I can have Kellogg's. Okay.
Okay, Labruski. You also don't like The Dark Knight Returns, so we know you don't have good opinions.
Logan, I think this is do one of you have this, Jake?
Yeah,
nice.
Actually, if you want to, I can end up doing a haul, but I have to go run over and pick up the box.
That's fine. We have a ton of time. I expect us to be going on till 1 a.m.
Mine is in the mail, so.
Okay, you're getting it too. Okay, yeah. Jake, let's see. What's this say? Remember, anyone who's reading these stories for the first time, how are they holding up? Better, worse, or pretty much what you expected? Have you read it at all, Jake?
Of course. My overview has 6,000 views. I don't just chat GPT my reviews, mostly. I'm just kidding. So what I'm going to say is don't expect like Citizen Kane or something groundbreaking that's going to transform you. This isn't a Daniel Warren Johnson book that's going to make you laugh and cry. This is just a kid with action figures, and you're like, oh my god, Superman and Spider-Man are in the same panel. They're just fun. I think the one that does elevate itself that I've read that was more than just fun was the Teen Titans X-Men crossover.
Yes.
That one, that one was
special.
unbelievable. Something special. They were cooking. I don't know. Seeing the Joker tell the Hulk, "Come on, let's fight Batman together. I have green hair, you have green hair. We're basically the same." You know, that's kind of silly and kind of fun. So I haven't read all of it. I've read about half of the book. And what I've read has been verging between fun or on the other end of the spectrum, the Teen Titans, X-Men, amazing.
Yeah, I was actually a little torn about getting it because there's not massive amounts in there I actively love or need, but I was like, well, FOMO, and I might as well get it. And yeah, I think the problem, of course, is a lot of these were things that were done as one-offs where you couldn't really change the characters, could you?
Yeah.
It's just okay. These two characters meet. The Teen Titans X-Men one is a bit odd because it does actually make something of an impact on the Phoenix mythos, which is never mentioned again. Not in the main series.
And it came with the Source Wall, right? That's where the Source Wall came from, right?
No, I think no. The Source Wall was around before then. Surely the Source Wall was part of Jack Kirby.
Well, I think them saying like the Source Wall, where they break through the Source Wall or whatever. I thought that part was new.
Oh, possibly. That might.
Yeah.
I have to go back and check. It might be the first time that the Source Wall is breached.
Yeah.
The
thing I'll say that I like is that they don't waste any time of it. It's as if they were always in the same world where they go, oh, I've kind of heard of the X-Men, or I've kind of heard of Spider-Man before. I think he's in the newspapers say he's bad. I'm surprised we've never run into each other.
Yes.
So at least it's not like 30 stories in a row of Superman going, what world am I on? Who are you? They cut through the fluff, but it's almost so split 50-50. You can hear the lawyers talking to the writers that say Spider-Man needs 3 pages, then Superman needs 3 pages, then they meet and they have to have, like it's so even that the lawyers were like, well, if you do a 3-page Superman intro, there's got to be 3 pages of Spider-Man doing an intro. It is very split 50-50.
Or it could just be Claremont and Company making sure that was the case. I mean, yeah. Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I was a little torn whether to get it at all, to be honest. But I thought, there's kind of enough in there that the one that I'm stupidly looking forward to. Maybe it's just Marvel Fanfare. Even though, again, not a very archy series, doesn't really change. But gosh, looks like what I've read of it. So many good characters, so many good creators. I'm like, yeah, this one could be quite good.
That's awesome. I'm excited to read the rest of it.
Yeah.
But so much to read in so little time. I did get a couple of fun package this week that was exciting. So I'm sure people have seen overviews of these before, but I did get the DC Finest edition.
Comics.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you at on your order though? I don't want to distract you. Have you placed the order?
I've ordered one thing. Just a sec. And I am going to order from the 70s menu or whatever it is, the 90s menu. I got to get there. I've ordered one thing.
The 90s menu meaning Taco Bell from the 90s or people who are in the 90s?
They've got Taco Bell from the 90s. Like, I'm going to get the Mexi Melt.
It's called the Decades Collection.
Yes.
So it is 5 items from different decades in the era of Taco Bell. So like the green burrito, the Mexi Melt from the 80s, and then they did a bunch of merch that all sold out instantly.
Does it come with a Chihuahua?
I don't know what
I feel like it has to come with a Chihuahua. Since it's a 90s thing, you gotta have
the
that.
mascot. That's before my time. Can we hear the story of when you almost owned a Taco Bell?
Oh yeah, let me finish ordering. I guess I'm gonna have to get the Mexi Melt just because I want to taste the Mexi Melt. Okay,
and the grilled cheese burrito.
Sorry,
get the grilled cheese burrito.
You know what? I don't see it. I see green burrito.
It's not part of the decades line. It's a current item.
I see chicken cantina stuff. What was it you said? Beefy 5-layer burrito.
You don't see grilled cheese burrito?
I don't
Regrets.
see the grilled cheese burrito.
Oh, what if our Taco Bells are different because they're in different states and there's different regional menus?
I think that might be what it is. Oh, wait, grilled cheese burrito?
Yes.
Dude, that looks like it would feed 20 people. I will be so sick.
But it has a layer of melted cheese on top.
What the hell? That's your selling point? Seasoned beef,
don't know.
nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, fiesta strips. What the hell are those? Creamy chipotle sauce, reduced fat sour cream. Oh, thank you. And 3 cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla with even more 3 cheese blend grilled on the top. I really
gonna be
want a
saying-
Dorito.
Do you need a moment alone?
It's not big enough that you're gonna be saying that with.
Yeah.
I probably
I'll
can eat
tell you-
like 4
I'll
or 5
read you
of
my
them
whole
easily.
order because you know me. I got the grilled cheese burrito, a Mexi melt, 3 mild sauce packets, 1 cheese quesadilla, and 3 of the hot sauce packets.
Oh yeah, I gotta get hot sauce. I do love the Doritos Locos, so I gotta get a couple of those.
I'm not ordering Taco Bell because standards.
I get
Yes.
it. Yeah, totally
I'm not
get
ordering
it.
Taco Bell because my Taco Bell's closed.
Like,
Oh, that's
you know-
right.
you know when your friend does something dumb and destructive and you just gotta do it with them? You know, like, yeah, you know, like when you find a carton of drugged ice cream and your friend's eating it. Am I not supposed to grab a spoon?
Right.
I'm here just to watch it.
I do remember my senior year of college that the cafeteria got so abominable that going to Taco Bell, and we were all very poor, going to Taco Bell actually seemed preferable. And so we ended up doing that quite often.
Okay, Diablo sauce,
Have you tried the new sauce, the Dish of Hot?
fire sauce packets. Looks like fire sauce is the hottest.
Fire.
Diablo was
Uh,
hot.
You got it's not in the sauce section. Scroll toward like the bottom. It's their new Dish of Hot. That's their hottest sauce.
Ooh, there's a bunch of
Dish of
stuff down here at the bottom that I didn't see. Fricking frick.
I wish you were sharing your screen at least so that you could take people on this journey with you. Should I show off the finest editions while you order your Taco Bell?
Yes.
Yeah,
Our colons are going to be nicely
journey.
protected.
So
It's
so
just like
we
the
got
it's just like the 7 seasons of Voyager here. It's
hey, you think this is bad? Wait till the food arrives. He doesn't hide his camera. It's he makes himself centered on the screen, and we're all just okay. So we'll go in order. Up first is this Superman, the first superhero, and I love that guy's stressed face on the cover.
Oh wait, you want me to highlight you? Just a sec.
No, why would I take away these beautiful faces with me?
Just show it. Okay.
That's
This is
my bank account.
This is a good question for Lars and you guys. You could show that again? Is this the most famous comic cover in history, in your opinion? And if
I'm sure
not,
it's the most
what is?
expensive.
My ward is a junkie.
It's
I would
certainly
say
up
it's
there.
Amazing Fantasy 15 is also pretty
Yeah.
famous.
That's true.
Detectives 27. I mean, this is probably the most like not parodied, but like homages. It is to highlight Safar's comet. It is standard size, like a trade, but a lot chunkier.
I see. I mean, ambush bug number 1. I don't know. That's a very good question. I mean, it's probably not the most, but it's up there. It's certainly up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think might be more famous than the Superman cover? And some people in the chat kind of suffer from recency bias. They were going Spider-Man 300. That has been homaged to heck. Amazing Fantasy 15.
Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
I mean, Crisis
27, right?
Well, Crisis 7, which follows on from X-Men 136.
What the one that has the Wolverine and the Hulk being in the blades of Wolverine? I remember.
That's up there as well. I mean, that was parodied in Deadpool. Jim Lee X-Men.
What was that one Wolverine cover that they used for the first omnibus? The is it where he's just looking like all giant? Like his face. He's got the 3 claws.
Yeah, that's a pretty famous cover.
I haven't seen Ambush
Yeah.
Bug #1 though. I'm gonna Google that.
Cherry Pepsi.
Oh,
I
that's
think
true. Amazing. Yeah, Undefeated. Amazing Spider-Man 50. That's a big one.
Spider-Man No More. Is that 50?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Uncanny X-Men 135, which of course, is a redo of the Neil Adams Living Pharaoh cover.
William Lee asking, why is the leading authority of Spanish culture on YouTube ordering from Taco Bell?
It was just a comment last night on Omnibros, and I think Jake was in there, and he said, "Yeah, I'll get Taco Bell too." And Samantha in New Zealand said, "I'll get Taco Bell too." So, I mean, Samantha, if you're ordering Taco Bell, I'd be happy to send you. You've been on the show before. I'd be happy to send you a link to this, and we can all eat Taco Bell in the air if you want. It's fine with me.
Can I respond to who's calling me out in the chat for being
Sure.
slow?
Sure.
The Chris, it is arriving tomorrow. They were slammed with, you can imagine how many shipments they had for the DC versus Marvel Omnis, both covers. So it arrives tomorrow, and hopefully I will film tomorrow night. I might push it because my wife is leaving Thursday morning on vacation, and she said, if you're doing the stream Tuesday night and filming Wednesday night, I won't get to see you, have a night with you before I leave. So can you film Thursday night when I'm gone? So I think I'll be a good husband and film Thursday. But I'm excited. First vertical absolute slipcase.
Oh shoot.
So then we got up next, we have Batman Year 1 and Year 2. Between this and the next Batman one, Killing Joke and Other Stories, I think it'll fix people who their whale is second chances. As the definitive Jason Todd on Comic Book YouTube, I don't think people should spend $200 on 4 mediocre issues of Jason Todd. But that'll be fun. I like this one. It is different quality levels of Batman stories for sure, though. And then I like this one. I think this because I don't think so. For the DC Compact comics, which are also good for new readers, they started with Grant Morrison's Wonder Woman, and I feel like that wasn't the Wonder Woman I would have picked for the first Compact comic. I think this is an awesome run. This was the first Wonder Woman run I read, so I'm happy for that. So that's the Gail Simone's. Then all this Flash, I've never read any of this stuff, so definitely before my time. This is like the late 50s Flash stuff, but you get the first appearance of Mirror Master, first appearance of Captain Cold, and the Flash of Two Worlds, which I didn't own before.
Oh, that is awesome. That's a pretty important book right there. That's the book that's the character that started off the Silver Age. And then we've got Flash 123, which is the one that introduced the concept of Earth 2 and brought back all the Golden Age characters a little bit updated. You got Carmine Infantino art throughout with different inkers, whose extremely dynamic and kinetic art makes Flash just an amazing character. Who is it? Like Gardner Fox and Bob Kanigher, maybe are the writers?
Fox and Broom and Infantino.
John Broom, okay.
Yeah, and then Joe
Giella, he's an inker of Carmine Infantino's. So these were really important stories. And I will say, for the modern reader, usually I do not recommend Silver Age. Yeah.
Which is what he told me about the Superman Silver Age omnibus, knowing that it would make me buy it because I do the opposite of whatever Jess tells me is not for me. Nothing triggers me more than when a reader goes, "Oh, it's not for you. You wouldn't like it." Then I'm like, "I'll buy 2 of them."
I told you not to get Superman.
Hey, it's not good.
And what was your assessment when you read the silly thing?
I got through the first issue, which was cool because someone's like pulling a prank on Superman, and he knows his secret identity, and he knows where his base is, and he can't figure out which one of his rogues gallery would do it. And it was Batman to celebrate his birthday. And then the second issue was someone's mind controlling Superman to do these 7 wonders for the planet. I don't know. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. It was so dry. And you would read, I was like reading prose. It was like 60 lines of dialogue of Superman is looking at Lois Lane, and he goes, "Hi, Lois, I'm looking at you." It's like, let me just read. I can look at the image, and then it goes, in the last issue, in the last panel, Superman was looking at Lois Lane. It's just so, yeah, it wasn't for me. But I can't let it go.
I think you'll find the Flash is different because not only is it a serious piece of history, which helps with it helps you understand how the Silver Age started and everything, but that's the science fiction line of DC along with Green Lantern, who's also very readable. This stuff's actually very readable. Kid Flash gets introduced, Elongated Man, the Rogues Gallery of Flash. It's all one and done, but I found it all very readable and exciting. So I think you'll be okay.
I want to ask Lars this question because when we were doing Very Fine Jeopardy, the questions were tailored for you and Peter because that's who they thought were going to be on. So when you have me, who's very much a modern reader, I ended with 1 point on Jeopardy after betting my things. So there was like Doctor Who questions and things like that because of you, obviously.
Oh no!
And then the question was, what DC comic first DC comic established the multiverse? So in my mind, I thought it was a Flash Between Two Worlds, and it was, as James is here, he'll tell you the exact Wonder Woman issue, but it was like Wonder Woman 17 when her evil twin appears from another reality. I feel like it should have been Flash Between Worlds, right?
Well, if we're talking, I guess it depends how you define multiverse. I mean, because technically, sorry, Flash Between Worlds, you've got Earth 1 and Earth 2. Is that a multiverse?
Yeah.
I think certainly by the time the Crime Syndicate shows up, because now you got Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3. So definitely no later than that. The Wonder Woman issue you mentioned, I mean, what was her first multiverse comic? Well, if it was a Wonder Woman, maybe see this. Mark Waid would nail this one instantly.
Yeah.
So maybe it is a Wonder Woman. Admittedly,
it's an early Wonder Woman was his answer.
Yeah, my knowledge of Silver Age Wonder Woman is pretty terrible, if I'm being honest.
So Wonder Woman came before Flash 123 as far as a multiverse story?
Well,
it was
1953.
What was Wonder Woman number 59? Wonder Woman Invisible's twin, 1953. The Flash 123 Flash of Two Worlds took place a few years later during 1961.
Okay.
All right.
Unsung hero, James. Holy crap.
I mean, everyone knows I'm a fraud with my comic book knowledge. I just try to make my content, but I ended with a 1 point at the end of that stream. And it was you could cheat. It was open book.
It was open book.
Well, they had to because it's the level that you guys were at.
The only two questions I got right were the Lars question because I remember when people tell stories, and I got the Dazzler question right because I had the omnibus on my desk.
Oh, Jake, this is from Stanley, who lives in Wales and is a nemesis of mine. Jake, those are nice headphones. I'm a bit of a headphone nut and have always wanted to try some of the higher end vocals. Stanley is an audiophile to the extreme. He has a setup that you would really appreciate, Jake, and he goes after extremely nice and very expensive headphones, so he recognizes the ones on you and appreciates them.
I think these are the Stellias, the Focal Stellias. I work in hi-fi, so if you ever heard of a company called Upscale Audio, I run all their social media, spreadsheets, all the boring nerdy stuff. Like being young, I can open a PDF, and I work with a bunch of older audio files that can sell speakers to a person that doesn't listen to music, but they can't open a PDF on their computer. So
I am so glad I joined to see an old man try to work out what to order from Taco Bell. This is my life, Stanley. You know that. If
we do a poll and the chat decides you should get the grilled cheese burrito, will you get it?
I've already ordered everything.
Did you double dash a McFlurry?
No, I didn't. I ordered sour cream stuffed cinnamon whole donut holes from Taco Bell. I thought that was a good choice. Come on, right? Okay. That was a good choice.
I just thought we were going to be grilled cheese buddies. But
I have to confess, this is not how I thought the show would be going. But,
He's so disappointed.
It's
Not
it's
sometimes our
fine.
streams
It's
are about non-food related things.
a bit of a surprise.
See, Samantha loves hearing the menu. Are you going to be ordering? Have you already ordered,
She
Samantha?
said earlier, I'll highlight it. She drove past it.
I'm now imagining some
close.
erotic reading of the Taco Bell menu.
No,
Tried
Doritos
done.
locals.
next, Imaginaut, always an interesting commenter. Tonight's political discourse embargo, regardless. What is the vault if not Omnidog's vault secret garden? That place that has everything one wants and needs, and that makes everything else seem like a million miles away. This is everybody's safe space tonight. I hate to use that word safe space,
Well,
but it is. This is a space.
that's
it's
fair. That's fair.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, Top Gun.
Oh, Todd. Does upper management say it's okay?
Okay, Warren, yuck ice cream. What's going on there?
Warren's always weird like that.
Oh,
in your show.
Warren, disagreeing with something.
What?
I think you're like that when he agrees with you.
Yeah.
It is weirder. There's one last finest edition. Justice League of America, The Bridge Between Earths.
I need to get that.
So, yeah.
Someone in the feed was suggesting, and because we were talking about is DC Finest going to succeed or not, and I think it is more than not. But yeah, someone in the feed was asking, are they pumping out too much Golden and Silver Age material into the mix? And yes, that is something of a concern for me because, well, heresy, but I think overwhelmingly the Golden and Silver Age are primarily of historical significance, and I do worry about the breadth of the readership they're going to enjoy. I don't know. There's a lot of DC Silver Age you can look upon that's like charming. It is charming, but you cannot give it to modern day readers. There's no, and the Golden Age, Jesus Christ. I don't know. There was a lot there. Well, I mean, here's look again. I cannot stress enough. I respect the history of it. I do. I respect all the people who made it. Their great imagination. But the only Silver Age I really own is Legion of Superheroes and Doom Patrol, and that's really because I'm interested in those teams and their history. And that might be about. Oh, and then I weirdly have wound up with an All Star Archives #2 signed. But that's it. I don't really own any Silver Age. I don't particularly enjoy it, even though I like the history.
I think that DC Finest is the only way now I will get Bronze Age Batman, the early years of Bronze Age Batman and Superman.
Well, you do hope that you used to fill in the gaps. I mean, it occurred to me there persistently remains this stupid gap in the Justice League omnibuses. The gap right before Justice League Detroit. And like, why they haven't put on an omnibus there, I don't know. I'm like, well, fill it in with DC Finest for peace.
Yeah, because at least it's story centric and not creator specific. You know what I mean? Like they mix multiple creators, which will be for seasoned readers, gap fillers. For new readers, just buy the Finest, read from start to finish. You'll get a good thing. My question is, do we know this yet? So on the back, it has a timeline that shows you what era your comics came from.
Okay,
and
that's awesome.
The most recent date it has is 2011. So is that their way of saying we won't collect anything past 2011 in a Finest comic, or do you think that's just what they stopped for aesthetic reasons?
It may just be where they ran out of space.
Yeah. What's the
2000 or maybe the timeline's going to shift.
The most recent one that they did was this one, which is from 2007 to 2009, the Gail Simone Wonder Woman.
See, that's great. I love the fact that they did this and Batman Year One.
Well, Marvel's not particularly doing anything after. I mean, even their modern epics, aren't that recent. Yeah.
Well, I think
I'd be very surprised if there were DC's Finest for the New 52. I just don't think its time has come yet.
Oh yeah, right. I agree. And they're starting to put out omnis of all that New 52 stuff.
Yeah, they're too busy putting out omnis. Yeah, absolutely.
I think people need to also realize that the more classic books are a different era. So it's going to be a different time period, different words meant different things, different it was just a totally different world back then.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
that's where I think that's where you're getting like people that are doing it now. I think they should be going more of a modern way with it. Like the Wonder Woman, I think they're going over with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can do both. I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't have any golden age or any silver age, but they do seem to be thumping that one pretty hard. So I don't know. I mean, as much as I love Legion of Superheroes, that's not the Legion of Superheroes I would have chosen to go first.
What did they pick?
I beg your pardon. Well, they kind of picked up where they picked up where the Silver Age Omnibus collections left off.
Oh,
because
that's good for me.
Silver Age Omnibus 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then the DC, I think I'm right in saying the DC Finest is the slice of comics after that, which they're already out in archives. Of course, the archives have been out of print forever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's actually, I enjoyed that period. That's leading into the late 60s, I think. After
it's actually in the 70s.
70s, yeah.
I
dug the 70s superhero Legion of Superheroes.
Again, if you had any aspirations of this being someone's first exposure to Legion of Superheroes, it's not what you would pick, and I probably wouldn't, to be honest. But then again, I don't know if the purpose of DC's Finest is to be people's first time for these books, or if it's just to do a giant catalog that we old nerds will buy. I don't know.
To highlight this comment about, this one about how the DC Finest is hard because the Wonder Woman is $50 on Amazon. It's even cheaper on organic price books. It's like $48, and it is hard when you're looking $40 for DC's Finest versus $48 for the Omni that collects everything and is a hardcover. But I think they're for different readers, you know.
This is the Gail Simone Omni.
Yeah, the Gail Simone one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I don't think that the DC's Finest, if you look at them, they came out on in-stock trades today. They're going for like $17. So again, it's not.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you have to take the retail price and discount it pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about
organic price books? Though we have a gift card to give away today, right?
We have what?
We have a gift card to give away today, right?
Yep, we do. And we have books to give away that I'm even going to pay shipping for. So real giveaways. And JP was kind enough to donate a gift card through Jake, which I appreciate a lot. So yeah, we're going to have some giveaways here. I think we should wait till after dinner. This comment just, I don't know what dimension this person's from. It's like he's like Bizarro almost.
Can we start a rule that one put down is two put ups? So every time Warren hates something, they have to say two things that they like instead.
I don't think he has to like.
But I'm like asparagus and long walks in the beach. You know.
I don't think he has that. It's doesn't like ice cream and loves Dazzler Bus. I just don't know.
I love the Dazzler Bus.
I'd rather eat a bowl of cottage cheese. Okay, that's just cottage cheese is fine, but it ain't no.
Don't yuck there, yum.
I can't do cottage cheese. That's just curled milk. Come on, man.
Yeah. There is something so wrong with Jess, and that's coming from me. Stanley's one of my oldest friends, and he is insane. Seriously. Okay, wait. Okay, these comments are way old. I'm sorry. Cottage cheese, bananas, dink. Somebody wanted me to be Falcone. This is when I talked about the woman tying me up and feeding me ice cream from Warren Weaver or whatever that fantasy was.
We don't have to be there when that happens, though, right?
No.
Okay.
No,
I'll watch you eat Taco Bell, but there are limits when I'd leave the live stream.
Lars, have you even watched any Omnidog's videos?
No.
Like the streams? Oh, so you're getting a complete new experience.
It's only experienced me on very
I am diving right in here. Although I am feeling a little more weirdly, I'm feeling a little more. Oh, there you go. I'm feeling a little more unleashed, as it were, because there's no Marvel sponsorship to protect.
Right.
You're not rolling in the dough from big sponsorships, are you?
Yeah, we're rolling the dough of big organic price books where there's 52% off of DC collected editions and Image collected editions until November 8th at 10 p.m. But we like to get weird with it, so there's no rules. Do I go pick up my Taco Bell or do I text my wife and ask her to head to me?
Well, what is marriage for except to get her to pick up the Taco Bell?
Get her. I thought, why don't you DoorDash it?
From my front door?
Wait, the front door. The food's already there. Oh, I didn't know the food was already there. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was saying, should I go pick it up or should I ask my wife to bring it?
You meant the restaurant. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
okay. Well, see, yeah. For example, I feel at liberty to tell the story I've had before. So, yeah, you were talking about your home fantasy. So, we very briefly here in Des Moines had a Wizard World. This is when they were trying to overdo it and plant Wizard Worlds everywhere. And like the first year was incredible. The number of guests we had was shocking. And then they decided, we're out of money. We'll dial it back on years 2 and 3. And then it just went under. But for years 2 and 3, they started sourcing local talent. And so there's an aerial community here, which I'm associated with. And they asked them, can you come perform at Wizard World? And it's like, okay. But they said, but can you dress up like superheroes? And they said, sure. So, I mean, my wife, oh my God, I knew she was going to be performing as Catwoman. They stressed, this is a family event. There will be children there. So it was like, okay, well, we'll dress up like superheroes. So my wife was performing as Catwoman. It was only when she stepped out of the dressing room, I hadn't seen the full effect of her platform boots, the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman mask, this kind of shredded Catwoman outfit, and the giant whip. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And total dominatrix mode. This event had the special host, Kato Kalin, by the way.
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, and even worse than a friend of mine, she used to do burlesque. She did burlesque. Well, she still does burlesque. She does burlesque, and she has this something about. She calls herself May the Force, and she has this routine where she was a stormtrooper doing its laundry. Okay, and then she takes off all her clothes, and so for the family event, she tried modifying it, and so I remember watching this routine in front of a bunch of kids, thinking that was a stripper move. That was a stripper move. That was a stripper move. And like people were like darting their hands in front of their kids' eyes and taking them from the room. So I'm not saying that's why Wizard World went under, but it probably didn't help.
It sounds boss.
You don't think it prolonged it a little bit? Like it raised some money?
I was going to say, I think that got people excited over there.
It's Central Iowa. What else is there to do? Yeah, good time.
I forget what this is.
I have mine. Don't start without me.
Well, okay, I'll put my sauce on.
Kidding.
I'll put my sauce on. I got a ton of things. Oh, this is the Mexamelt.
Thanks, love.
I don't know that this has any beef in it.
Look at that. My God.
Special delivery.
I love you. She didn't say it with as much gusto as I said it.
You guys get food. I get cough drops. What's Lars going to get?
I ate food. I ate before I got on the show. I was ready.
Oh, you were prepared.
Wait till you see the money start coming. The second Jess starts eating, the super chats come flying. We're gonna call it like a mukbang or something.
Oh, there is beef in this. This is good. This Mexi Melt.
Did you get the Disha hot sauce?
That wasn't an option here.
It's way down, hidden on the menu.
So my father's family lives quite long. Like the older generations live quite long. So I should live quite long, but it'll be of interest because, we eat a lot more ultra processed food nowadays. And what is that doing us to our lifespan? I don't know what made me think of it in this instant.
The grotty food that I'm eating.
Oh, God.
You taste that pico de gallo in the Mexi Melt?
Yeah.
We're all
very good.
Does anyone have any cool books shipping to them? Anything on the way?
Just the DC crossovers, DC Marvel crossovers, and a couple of Grendels.
Oh, you gave into the FOMO? Because you said you were feeling FOMO on it. Okay.
No, I did. Well, the thing is, I can always resell it, but no, I did give in, and I did get it.
In a year when it's way more expensive, right? Cha-ching.
Yeah, Grendel Omnibus. Some of those were discounted, so I got those. And
Okay, nice. I mean, after, did Grindel win Best Indie Hero? I don't remember.
it was on the list. It was on the list. Yeah. But by the way, so it seems
Okay.
like there was supposed to be a JSA compendium out today, and
Oh, did they get pushed? I know they pushed a lot of books back.
well, it never arrived, and that makes me think: have they just pulled the plug on it? It's very weird.
A lot of DC books got pushed back. Like Mr. Miracle was supposed to be the Absolute was supposed to be in a week or two. They just pushed a lot of things back.
Okay.
So we shall. You know, if only there was a website that tracked collected edition releases.
Well, so weirdly, so I had JSA in those kind of like really aged newsprinty graphic novels, and I finally just when they pull if they pull the plug, I was just like, oh screw it, I'm just gonna get the omnibuses. So I ordered the 2 omnibuses today.
Heck yeah. And there's a question for me. How far are you into Stan Lee Spider-Man? He just beat the Vulture.
I'm trying to get Crisis on here.
Yep, we have a special guest star. Oh,
there he is.
My God!
Hello.
What
Absolutely.
up, Crisis?
I'm in my special high-tech streaming situation today.
You were just blossoming wings of lurid color behind you there.
Yeah, what's going on in that room? It's cool.
Well, this is I'm gonna go and do some live music a little bit later, but I thought I would just hang out with you all for a couple minutes before I get you demonetized playing David Bowie and then go off on my own.
Fine with me.
You truly are Lucifer. You have these sprouting purple wings, and then your hair is just emitting this smoke and brimstone. Perfect. Perfect.
So we were talking about collected editions, DC things getting pushed back. Please do not let me interrupt and/or hijack.
Let's see if you'll get this question. So the other day I did terribly at Very Fine Jeopardy because the questions were tailored for you and Lars.
Yeah, I really thought that it was aimed at me, and then when I was like, oh wow, it seems like it's happening without me.
like there were questions like where did about super specific Doctor Who stuff. Where did Lars make his famous cameo? So my question is, what was the first DC comic with the multiverse? Let's see if you get this right.
Well, it happened in Flash before it happened in Justice League. Because it was the first time that Flash crosses over and sees Jay Garrick. I want to say
that's
after
what I answered.
Showcase turns into Flash. I want to say something like Flash, like 21 or 29.
123.
Well, that's what I thought, but it was apparently the answer is Wonder Woman 50-something where she fights her twin.
It's a
I'm
very
sorry, say it again.
The claim is that it's a very obscure Wonder Woman comic from the 50s.
Well, I mean, kinda, but I would still say Flash.
Okay, so then I feel less bad about myself. Thank you.
I agree. I think it's Flash 123. Also, I'm now eating the Gordita Crunch. Double shell, my favorite thing. Ooh.
You want to see what the grilled cheese burrito looks like?
Yes.
There was one.
So this is like a combination live stream / eat the menu / new releases. All of you.
Yeah. Wait, show it again, Jake.
So it's got a layer of grilled melted cheese on top.
Oh.
Because I hate myself.
What is it? It looks like a chicken parmesan. What are you eating?
It's a burrito with a layer of melted cheese on top. Because science has gone too far.
It certainly has.
We're seeing science right now, seeing how long you guys could be lasting with that Taco Bell.
Yeah. Well, when you're talking trivia, I mean, so I went to New York and I worked for Wizard, and I had only been there like 3 weeks, and they said, "Hey, we want you to be part of this trivia competition, in the warehouse with the staff." And I mean, it was kind of terrifying because I'd only been there 3 weeks and didn't know any of these people. And they're like, yeah, it's going to be you and Scott Beatty and Mark Wachowski. I'm like, okay. I was too young and stupid to say no. But then somehow they actually said, oh, and we just want the knowledge off your head. Don't study. And I was like, F that shit. I'm going to study. because I don't want to because I think they're going to put me up there in front of the entire company. I don't want to make a complete damn fool of myself. I remember having to absolutely learn how to spell Mittelplick. So there was no doubt whatsoever how you got it. And sure enough, that was one of the questions. How do you spell Mittelplick? And sure enough, if you don't study, it was so embarrassing because, there are 4 Golden Age Wonder Woman comics, and Wilco was known as the Wonder Woman dude on staff, but he got saber rattled easily. And so the question came up, what are the 4 Wonder Woman Golden Age comics? And he got so saber rattled, he only got 3 of them. And I rung in and scooped it away from him. So yeah, study.
God, you're an interesting guy.
Well, I didn't. I just start talking and just garbage comes out. So Peter, where are you performing?
I have a tradition that on the night that we're all trying to avoid talking about, I go live on my personal socials and I just play music for like 3 or 4 hours because it's pointless. It's the same reason Jess is on tonight. It's pointless to get fixated. So I usually have my own solo thing. But when Jess said he was doing his thing too, I'm like, I have to stop by because it's the same sentiment of just like watch anything but that. There's nothing to be gained by thinking about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's fair.
Can I leave and go live with you? I'll just sit there while you play music, eating more Taco Bell. Yours just seems more interesting.
It'll just be the taco cam. We should just point it down at your desk.
Yeah, I'm not even on camera. It's just my hands. It's POV of eating food.
And what is
your like a little teenage girl though?
What is your usual music selection? Is it in the public domain, or do you not give a damn?
Well, I play a lot of my own stuff, so it's kind of safe from getting demonetized. But I play a lot of David Bowie, and I play a lot of Madonna. Because that's what I grew up on, I say I was raised on the teat of the Material Girl. And so that's generally what I'm playing, yeah. But as somebody, I don't really like eating. I'm famous for saying like I would just take a pill and avoid dinner, or if I could, every night. But I also am so tempted when I see people do like, we're eating every spicy chicken sandwich in Wellington. I'm like, I would do that 100% and put it online because I like the trying of things. I just don't like the maintaining of the habit of eating. It gets in my way. It's less time for comics.
So no stairway to heaven for Crisis.
With the amount of Adderall I'm prescribed, I don't like eating either. But I can't make Jess eat Taco Bell alone. I had to be there for a friend,
That's fair. It has to be a collective.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh wow! Thank you.
Wait, my name's in that. That means I get half.
Okay.
So it says a request since you're chewing for a future video citing the top 10 to 20 comic artists and writers and recommended work in your opinion. Omar made a similar video 6 years ago. Time for a version with modern age. Actually, that was Jess's idea 6 years ago. Omar just stole it as always.
Could you put that back up so I can screenshot it? Thank you. This is a great idea, and I will definitely work on it with Jake. I think that sounds like a lot of fun.
I will remind him tomorrow, and he'll say, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then I'll say, "Check the post-it note," and the post-it note says, "Turn off the stove," and I'm like, "No, the one next to the stove post-it note," and then he'll go, I see what you're talking about.
So we're gonna see Mora DWJ, Mora DWJ.
I like artists besides them. Okay, I have a question that I thought of today. If you could have an artist edition of any book, what would it be? For me, I'd want an artist. I will never get it, but I want an artist edition of some or all of New Frontier.
So is the artist edition's always black and white, like original pencils?
Yeah, original pencil, the size they drew it. It might have words or not, but it's about the art.
Well, this is the weird thing. Apparently, they're scanned and presented in color. So
So if there's like a little line,
to get any, maximum presentation. Yeah.
I mean, Greg Land on Uncanny X-Men obviously would be my first choice.
Certainly.
No one responds to the bit.
I think it's fine. I have zero.
I was trying to think of a response that wouldn't get me canceled.
I have no problem.
Oh, I know for sure. Alan Davis Excalibur, starting when he took over Excalibur by himself, like Excalibur 41, 42, running through the issue where Rachel fights Galactus, which I think is the most beautiful comic issue ever drawn.
It is beautiful. Yeah, that's a really great thing. Yeah.
I got a reaction. Oh, he's
Dorito Loco Taco. This is my last thing.
Selfishly,
you already ate the dessert?
No.
I tried to, so today, I'll tell Crisis this story. Today, Jess was telling me he was lamenting on how he didn't think he only had 4 hours to go to Taco Bell and back and get the food, and he wasn't feeling it. So I encouraged him to deliver it through a delivery app. But he didn't take my other suggestion of double dashing a McFlurry. He said no to that.
I know.
Well, so in some ways, I'm the oldest person on this stream because I don't know what delivery apps are. Like, I don't. If you told me, like, Crisis, it's like a Saw situation. This bear trap is gonna cut off your foot if you can't figure out how to deliver Ruizy Uber thing. I would lose a foot. I don't know how they work. I don't know what they are. I've never done it. I never will. So I'm on team Omnidog here. When it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm like, and I didn't know what time it was all day because you all just had a time change. And I don't live there. So I don't understand what time it even is there right now.
I'm the same way. Well, I think it's just that Farm Boy just feels the need to go get food himself. I mean, just doesn't have a problem with it. It's like someone brings me food. That just seems like such a foreign concept.
Right?
Now, a lot of the introverts in my life, they think it's awesome because they want to, they
don't want to have the interaction.
Yep. Order the food, have it delivered to the doorstep, all that stuff. They don't want to talk to a single individual and food magically appears.
Think of
I'm
how
not
many
paying
lives
15, 20 bucks to
saves,
get
though.
DoorDash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
you get drunk and you want tacos, deliver it instead of driving. It saves lives and gets me out of small talk with other people.
When the DoorDash costs more than what my food would be, no, thank you.
Oh, it's always like twice as much.
I'd be kind of curious to see how much you guys end up spending in DoorDash.
I use my wife's credit card.
There's
But that doesn't count. That's in like a liminal space of budget, right? Where you would never know.
No, we've recently found that what works for us, because I'm an impulsive buyer as a collector, is I just give her all of my money and she tells me what my budget is for things. So it takes all the hard work out of financing.
Great idea.
Some people do that. Yeah, no. Okay.
It's called thinking outside the box.
There's a teenager in my life whose mother decided to make some extra money door dashing, and then professed to me that the teenager was asked. And normally that was fine, but the teenager has to go along because someone had ordered a selection of adult items, and
with their DoorDash.
Yeah, apparently you can. Apparently,
because CVS has a whole range of personal pleasurable devices now.
Yeah.
So if you're door dashing some Tylenol from CVS, just throw in, as Chapel Rome would say, a wands and a rabbit, and then have a wonderful bang for you.
That's what that line meant.
Oh, we have to bring you on one of the pop music videos.
What was the dirty thing I learned on the Indie Hero stream? It was like Pop-Tart or something like that. Cherry Pop-Tart. You guys?
Cherry Pop-Tart.
Oh, Cherry Pop-Tart. Yeah.
I should not have Googled that. I'm too innocent. I will say, can I tell you the coolest DoorDash?
There is a clear, unambiguous disclaimer that you should not Google it.
That's right.
No,
Jake is very contrarian. You tell him not to do something, he will absolutely do it.
Yes.
Like buy Superman Silver Age Volume 1.
I thought I could get through it. I have diverse tastes.
I told you not to, buddy.
What it was I read the Question Omnibus, which is older than what I traditionally read, and I loved it, so I got greedy. I was like, heck yeah, I can do the Bronze Age, I can do the Silver Age. It's basically the same thing, and and it wasn't.
Well, the Question Omnibus is like from the mid '80s. There's a big difference there.
I know. So if Jake, you say go ahead, do it, and then you win because he does do it, or he wins because he's like, oh, okay, whatever. You don't care.
Yeah. If you tell me to do something, I do it. If you tell me not to do something, I do it. If I'm asked to do something for my significant other or boss, I don't do it. So other than that, I do everything. No, King, I can't spend money if I don't have any. I just give it away now, and then I don't spend it.
That's why he gives it to the wife, yeah.
This is what called credit.
Credit.
Excuse me. Chris Brogan requested pics of a book I recently read that is awesome. I've owned it for a long time. Read it many times. Of course, I forgot about it. It's Witching Hour by Jeff Loeb and Chris Bacallo. Bacello. And I found this to be wonderful. There's 4 or 5 stories that are interweaving with each other, have brilliant endings. There's a couple young witches that have very interesting backstories. I'm not 100% sure that they are the witches that appear in the House of Mystery, House of Secrets type of thing, because I'm not sure these are the same witches. I'd have to go back and look, but there's a deep, rich history in this book with the witches and sort of their their guardian, who's like 600 years old and tries to make sure they stay safe. And this art, let me highlight myself. Well, there's several different characters in here that are great. Wait a minute. What happened here? Here we go. Oh, thank you. Okay, this woman has a tattoo that actually comes alive. She wants a different life, and she's given it, and you have to see what happens. That's in that story. And here's one of the witches from back in the early times of Salem. She came over from Ireland, and she is
Vanessa in the Witching Hour book.
She would love this book. There are several witches, and one witch is going to a psychiatrist that hypnotizes her to go back to Ireland where she started out. And it turns out she has some interesting info on the psychiatrist. So there's another storyline there. And I love the design and the beautiful art. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of this. So there is dialogue that you need to read when she's back in Ireland. But then there's just typical word bubbles. A young woman's father has been cheating, and she uses one of the witch's wishes to stop the cheating. It ends much differently than the young woman expected. Here's the guardian, 600 years old. Oh, I just think this book is really, really amazing. It might be on my best of list this year, even though it came out in like 2018. So, Chris, I think you and Vanessa would really dig this book. So there we go.
Well,
Witching Hour. It's got a different cover now that I saw.
Chris's art is always good.
It's so gorgeous in this. And the design of the pages.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I'm having a minor existential crisis about whether or not to get the Shade the Changing Man omnibus, which Chris worked on for quite a while. Because it's always a series that I've struggled to get into. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll try some of the different issues on DC Infinite. And then I started getting drawn in. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not convinced a lot of it is what you call great. But I may have to get it anyway. I don't know.
I was on a stream where we one of Omar's streams, and we were talking about it, and Jess was doing the running joke of, "Oh, it's not for you. You wouldn't gain anything from it." And then poor Next Imaginaut didn't realize that was an inside joke between me and our friends. So he gives me this. He's like, "Hey, I know Omar and Jess were really dismissive of your interest in Shade the Changing Man," and then wrote like 16 paragraphs about how hallucinogenic and great and transformative Shade is, and how I should really give it a shot. And I was like, no, they were just messing with me, like. But yeah, Jess never. Whenever I'm interested, he just swats me down. That's taking that story.
Oh, Samantha, you drove past Taco Bell? Oh,
dude, that's from like an
There
hour.
aren't too many
ago.
here, Samantha. If you're in our home country right now.
Yeah, but the Witching Hour is quite good. I read it years and years and years ago, and I recall it being quite good.
Good. Yeah, I think you dig it. And Peter, did you see what I put in the Discord about the X-Men animated series album?
I saw X-Men animated series vinyl. I saw your shelf of Vampirella comics. You're really hitting me on a vulnerable day when spending money is a good distraction. So it really feels like a low blow. Because the carts are filling. Is anybody else experiencing that today, where all of a sudden, like, all of your carts that are normally empty on all of your favorite comic book and music sites are suddenly like a couple $100s deep? Because I'm having that.
I don't have any money, but I think I got Jess to spend some money today, right?
I think you did. What was I going to get? The absolutes of Batman?
The Absolute Court of Owls and the Absolute Death of the Family, because it's on the Organic Price Books DC sale.
I love seeing Peter in there talking about Vampirella. It was epic. It was so epic.
I have them all right here. They're always right to the side of me every time we stream.
That's amazing.
Our good friend Riley hooked me up. They were all on sale, but I was afraid they wouldn't make it all to New Zealand. And Riley acted as my my customs agent to make sure they all went into one box and they all would get shipped to me together. So I got all archives all at once. Yeah.
Oh,
but
that's
never
awesome.
reprinted Vengeance of Vampirella from the mid-90s by Tom I can't say his name. Snigalski. I'm bad at names, we all know. But that's like one of the next sequential stuff. So there's all of these Dynamite Masters books. There's 8 in total, and Dynamite restocks them constantly, so they're really easy to get. There's also like a Best of Masters omnibus that Jess has that's really, it's like this thick, but it's not every single story. But even these are not strictly sequential. Even if you get 1 through 8, it's not like it's Vampirella series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It picks and chooses depending on the authors. This first one is Morrison and Miller. But there's a huge gap in the 90s Vampirella reprints because they've never reprinted the 25 issues of this classic series, Vengeance of Vampirella, which is crazy because then in 2019, he came back and continued the story from the 1990 series for Dynamite, and it was great, and they still never reprinted the original. So you have to go, I was just looking at eBay, you just got to spend like $100 or $200 to get all the singles. Which blows. Like, come on. We gotta lean on Dynamite to start doing some more paperback omnibuses. They just started
I can email
the promo campaign that they're gonna do a paperback omnibus of the classic Marvel Thundercats comics, which is very cool. But they haven't done some of the stuff that they have longtime licenses for, like Vampirella. So anyway, Dynamite, come on. Compendiums, paperback omnibuses, they're hot right now. We want some more Vampirella. Make it happen.
They got me to some. They got me into some hot water because they sent me. Dynamite was the first publisher to ever reach out to me through YouTube, and they sent me they were going to send me a box of Disney comics. So I was really excited. My wife's a massive Disney fan. She worked there for 5 years. So I opened the package in front of her to show her the Disney comics. They also threw in a ton of Vampirella comics, which I didn't ask for, but also like would have opened the package had I known ahead of time. So we're flipping through all these Disney trade paperbacks and comics, which we're really excited about. And then the most erotic Vampirella covers you've ever seen.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Maybe that's okay. Maybe I just need to start talking about Vampirella all the time online. I actually know the Dynamite person, and then maybe I can start getting them to send some Vampirella to New Zealand for me.
So I saw this costume contest at Dragon Con. And the host was Anthony Daniels, who, of course, played C-3PO. And someone, I remember a woman was up there as Vampirella. As Vampirella. Which you just realize what a truly shocking little amount of clothing.
It's really barely anything.
is on a human being. And then by coincidence, it like just a few months after that, he was at Wizard World Chicago, and I saw Anthony Daniels, and I said, "Mr. Daniels, you were really funny in that costume contest. You great performance, thank you." And seeing you with Vampirella, and he looked at me and he went, "I was on stage with a naked woman."
Would it have been better if she had a stormtrooper helmet on? Like, would it have made it better for the audience?
Oh, I mean, it is shocking. We forget how shocking it is.
All right, folks, I'm going to go play some music. I might be back and join you later.
Yeah, I have to go soon, Peter. So you have
love.
You have a great evening.
Peace and love. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Bye, dude.
Rodimus says cinnamon up. Cinnamon bob up. Here we go.
What's up?
Oh, welcome.
Hi, Jake. How long?
Hi, it's so good to see you guys.
Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah.
This is my first time on the show, and it has been a strange experience.
You've never been on Omnidog's Vault?
No, and I had no idea how much it would just be consumed with them ordering DoorDash.
And Jake started.
Yeah, and then running through the various merits of Taco Bell.
Look, I don't eat a lot of fast food anymore now, but Jess, I couldn't make him eat Taco Bell alone. You know, we had to do it together.
I never know what Jess is.
You guys before, Jakey, you DoorDash ice cream and it was
Oh
peanut
yeah.
butter. It was really thick. And
Yeah. Well, okay, I've been super good on DoorDash lately because for a long time, every night Jess would go, "What'd you and your wife get for dessert tonight?" And it'd be the most obscene banana split thing you've ever seen in your life or something. But this is the first time I've DoorDashed food in like a month, so I've been good. I've been better.
I can never bring myself to. I will go right up to the confirm button. I can't spend that much money. I can't do it. Oh, I'm like, nope. $40 for 3 smoothies. I can't.
She always does this. She always does this. Like she spends an hour getting everybody's order, and then she looks at how much it costs to have it delivered, and she's like, "I can't do it. I'm cooking. We got McDonald's at home, or whatever it is that we were about to order." And
I look at it, it's like $30 to get the shipping for it. Nope, I'm just driving. Here we go.
Now I feel like I do the dishes all day, every day. It's like I don't know. I feel like I'd rather have less money. I don't have a dishwasher, so maybe that's my excuse.
See, I would love to be doing your dishes and everything. You just end up getting DoorDash and just throw it away.
No, we've been good lately. I never get any credit.
That's why you have kids. You get kids to do it for you.
I'm glad you're here.
Good idea.
Glad you're here, Vanessa. It's already calmed
is
me
there
down.
something else going on tonight?
Yeah, Peter's going to be playing his music that he plays on election night to soothe our souls.
Oh, I haven't heard him play in such a long time. You have Curtis on; he can sing as Kermit the Frog and make Jess cry, make us all cry.
I always cry at Rainbow Connection. Dude, lump in my throat. I think Curtis did say he'd pop in.
A lump in your throat, right? Okay. Yeah.
So this is really Lars' first time on your show. You guys have never done like a Doctor Who or
no? I'm being deflowered right now.
So whose show do you like better? Be honest. Now that they're both here and the chat is watching.
Well, the kind of freewheeling nature, it does make you realize how well oiled some other YouTube shows on the internet are. We'll just put it that way.
Whoa! So Jess is less oiled. That's his one takeaway.
Yeah, Thin Man.
Yeah.
I have to say the first 10 minutes was hilarious to watch Lars's reaction. What?
Well, yeah, because they're going on about Taco Bell. I'm like, my God, is this the show?
Yeah, that's what Peter liked.
I mean, I'm apologizing to the stream, and they're like, "No, it's normally like this." I'm like,
they'd be mad if we didn't order the Taco Bell.
But would
Yeah.
they? But would they?
Yeah, they would.
Let us know.
Jess, put up a poll. Did you
I'll do it right now.
Okay, totally, Jacob.
We have also discussed comics some.
Oh, good.
The next topic should be something about ice cream, because the chat loves to talk about ice cream too.
Ice cream.
You try
And
Halo
comics.
Top? That's my ice cream.
What do you like? Oh, Halo Top. Yeah.
Halo Top. It's made with
It's not ice cream.
soluble corn something.
Yeah.
Mass.
That sounds healthy.
It's good though. And I just want to say hi to people in the chat because this isn't my show, so I can't click over here.
Go ahead. It's gonna take just another hour to get to the chat.
Well, I'll scroll right to
No,
the
he wants
bottom
me
and
to
then
help.
work
I'm
my
just
way
Jason
up.
Todd.
It's possible. It's possible my daughter's in the chat. Oh, here's Amanda. Because she said she wanted to come on.
Amanda, I like your Batgirl picture.
I am not eating anything. I am sucking on a Ricola because I got sick this weekend. And
Yeah, we got
at
at the same time.
No.
It's like a crazy month, and then it's like your body knows, oh, this is a 4-day weekend. You can get sick now.
We had a lot of things.
Oh, 2 people said no.
That was
Yes,
not.
Yeah, that's probably Lars. That was Lars in the chat.
I don't know how to vote here. In this.
Lars, I thought about you. On Monday we kicked off
in vain. I hope. Yeah. Okay.
It
go
was
ahead.
it was nothing but good thoughts. We kicked off our DC Finest monthly thing that we're doing, and Mark Wade.
Oh, you're doing it monthly? Okay. All right.
Yeah, Mark Wade joined us, and I
That's
thought,
awesome.
man, if I had Lars here, and oh my God, Jess and Mark, and we got to the stupid Legion of Superheroes, there goes like that's all these nerds would talk about. Oh my gosh, dude. like, because we're looking at the third book, and I was helping him. Like, he's like, how many do you think come before this? And I was like, well, I know the Omnis because I had the first 2 Silver Age, had about 670 pages. So it was really cool to kind of map it out with Mark Waid. But I knew if you two nerds were there and he brought up these superheroes, that would have been the end of the show. It would have been like, oh my God, who's your favorite Legionnaire, Mark? What did you think about Pharaoh Lad's sacrifice the second time?
Well, I do know Mark. I mean, through initially through Wizard. Yeah, one person I was trying to stump me was like, well, can you name all the members of Legion of Superheroes? I was like, of course. And they said, can you name them all in the order that they joined? I'm like, of course. I mean, for God's sakes, you know, pick something hard. You know?
That's
you can't
really
tease
good,
us
Mark.
and not give us at least the first 10.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Jake, just really quick, thank you so much for the flowers.
Oh, you're
Very
welcome. That
beautiful. They
was for
smell
me, my
great.
wife, and Jordan.
Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And Adam, I don't know you. What's your favorite comic?
This is my first stream with Adam too. I know he's been in the chats before, and I've interacted with him, but this is our first stream on Omnidog's Vault. Screw what's your favorite comic? What's your favorite thing to DoorDash? And then
nothing, because DoorDash is too expensive around me.
Oh, you're
whenever I see DoorDash, it's like $20.
You can spend that money on comics, can't you? What's your favorite comic?
Or get into trouble with the missus. Well, you got this book. Because if I don't get it, it's gonna be $400 later. And then it's never coming.
But what's your favorite title right now?
Thundercats.
He's pumped for that reprint from Dynamite, the soft cover, right? That's the one you're looking forward to a lot.
I've never read the Marvel. I've read one issue of the Marvel, but I've read everything else. I read all the Wildstorm, everything.
Yeah, that's awesome! Wow, what a cool answer. That's way cooler than Jess's answer. That's unique.
Are you?
Everyone's answer was cooler than Jess's answer.
Did I even answer?
Melanie, quit busting on Jess. This is his show.
What was my answer?
What's wrong with Hard Traveling Heroes?
Golden Years, Superman.
Golden Years.
It was the first appearance of the Grasshopper Gang.
I just read Witching Hour. This is a classic book. Jeff Loeb and Chris Pacello. This is awesome.
Is that the new printing? That can't be.
No, this is the first. This is the first printing. It's not.
Yeah, the new printing will be DC Black Label before they go back to Vertigo. Are you excited for Silverhawks, Adam?
I've never watched Silverhawks.
All right, so funny story. When I had Declan Shalvey on the show, I told him, I was like, when are we going to get the expanded universe of like Silverhawks? Because you've got Thundercats in space and you've got Thundercats underwater with tiger sharks. And he's like, I don't know what the hell Silverhawks are. So we saw him at a bar in New York and he came up to me and he was like, you know that stupid Silverhawks thing that you were mentioning on the show? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, it's happening and Ed Prison's writing it. And I'm like, oh, I know. They just announced it here at New York Comic Con. And I'm like, now we got to work on tiger sharks. And he's like, I don't know what that is either.
You're just putting
the only reason I know Silverhawks is because I was talking to Larry Kinney, who's the voice actor for Lion-O. And he was actually voice actor of one of the characters over on Silverhawks.
He did a lot of voices in the 80s, so I believe that. Yeah, he's probably the main character. Or Bluegrass. That guy was awesome.
There's a deluxe of this coming out.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, is there? I thought it was just a trade.
I thought it was a trade too at the end of the month.
Yeah, I think there is a trade coming out soon. I haven't heard of a deluxe, but it definitely needs a deluxe edition. That's for sure.
I would. Yeah, this art is fantastic.
No,
really,
I'm checking. It is indeed a paperback. Yes, it's not a deluxe edition.
What did you just check? You didn't type anything, Lars. No one believes you.
I just comic releases doesn't say deluxe.
Can you tell us what your source is next to Maginot?
Yeah,
source. So I hope he drops an F-bomb. He's like, F you, Jess. I'm out. Man, very many words, just drops the F-bomb like that.
Lars, like I was saying earlier, but I don't think you processed.
Warren,
I had a lot of fun with you last year. I missed you. Like when we were at New York Comic Con, I really did think, I was like, it'd be nice if Lars was here.
No, that's a different guy. Oh no, you meant C2E2 was this year.
Yeah. Oh, was that not last year? Oh, I got my years confused.
That's okay.
No, I know Lars. We had great discussions.
No, yeah, absolutely. No, it was a great time. I've been to New York Comic Con. It's been a while. It's an expensive show. I remember I stayed in a last time I went to New York Comic Con, I stayed in an Airbnb that was vaguely terrifying because it was in this place. They go, well, the key will be above the door. Just take the key and walk on in. And you were assigned this like bed space. They were numbered, and
okay.
and it was partitioned by and with numbers. It's like you could hear the other people there, and they could hear you, but you never saw each other. And so it's being New York. You think you're gonna be lightly murdered in your sleep.
Yeah, was it like Barbarian?
It felt like it. And then weirdly, when I was going to Comic-Con, I passed this corner and they were doing some work, and there was a sign, and it said there's like some sort of poison in the water. Don't drink the water in the neighborhood. And I was like, what the hell does the neighborhood mean? I mean, is that a few,
like where are the lines?
Is that a few blocks? Is that and I was like, oh my God, I'll just be on bottled water. So I was on bottled water the whole weekend because it said there's poison about the place. I'm like, okay.
Well, do you trust it, or was that just coming from Big Water Bottle trying to sell more?
Oh, that's a good point.
Can I be on record saying Warren ended up liking or not saying that he didn't like something, but he was okay with something?
Progress.
Wow.
Yay!
That's
Warren,
a win, right?
Is Warren in therapy? What's happening?
Here,
He doesn't like ice cream. There's a whole thing.
No.
Okay.
I said,
What the hell
Wait,
was this
Scrappy
about?
Doo
Answer
would
this.
be hold on. I told Mark Wade Scrappy Doo would be a 5 out of 10 occult detective. That's why I ranked Batman a 6 out. But he said Batman would be a 7 or 8 out of 10 occult detective.
Oh, that's what Mark was
Oh,
saying?
occult detective.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely.
And then I
agree.
brought up Tim Drake, and he got nerdy with me. I loved it. He was like, "Well, Tim's all about computers and stuff." So I don't know if I would consider that more of an occult detective. And I was like, "Whoa!" He nerded up the conversation. I loved it.
That's awesome, Vanessa.
Oh, now
What
we're
the-
back to the regular thing with Scrappy or with Warren.
What did you? Yeah. Okay. I think it was Jake's top 10 Batman stories that started it. Then I discovered Omnidog and Omar and the streams. A month later, now I'm an obsessive comic book nerd. I appreciate you guys so much. And here's Comics Guide. Welcome,
Hello.
buddy.
Hey, man.
How's it
going,
My
dude?
wife's mad at Comics Guide right now.
What
Because
wrong
every
with
day
it?
I go up to her and I go, so this is the cart. I fine-tuned it, placed my first order from OrbitDVD.com because she's in charge of my budget money now or for hobbies. And she goes, not yet. You got to save a little bit longer. And then the next day I go, I'm once again coming with you with a bargain. What if I take one of the movies out and add one for you? So
I'm sorry. I apologize profusely for that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But hey, you're saving a lot of money.
that is true. So
We constantly see a bunch of really cool box sets every day that were in that Omni Bros chat.
Yeah, it's a curse and a blessing at the same time.
Yeah, and then Gio showing you his really nerdy Japanese Switch games or whatever it is, and you geek out about those, and
I do.
Riley's geeking out about the manga that Gio shows.
Look at you pronouncing it correctly. Good for you, Jess.
What he said?
Which word?
Oh,
Good
What
job.
word? What word?
Manga.
Oh, okay. I bought a manga, as a matter of fact.
what'd you buy? No way. Shut up.
Superman
He
versus
pulls up
Meshi?
my
Was it
dress up
Superman
garlic,
versus Meshi?
whatever.
My darling, my dress up darling. Oh no, it's gotta be like a hentai. Like my favorite thing are breasts. Or
Dude.
something like that.
I skipped a whole volume of
It's
Monster
not.
and didn't realize it until now.
Oh
I
gosh,
skipped volume 5 and didn't even know it. That's how slow the story's going.
that's
Wait, that's
Wait,
happened
you
to
had
me
a Jake
before, and
moment?
everyone gave me a hard time. I
That
read the
happened to
lot
you?
of Jake books
Moment?
out of order.
Or Monster.
Oh,
Was
you
it-
got the Charles Schultz book. Yeah,
Very
those are
nice.
great,
Aw.
man.
Very nice.
But hey,
Yeah.
Jess, that one is actually written. I think it's in the traditional right to left format, right? Like manga.
Yeah, it's written backwards.
Okay, no,
Dana.
that's not what I would say. I'd say it's written traditional.
You're trying to
Japanese
say
format.
Americanized or whatever.
It is
American
written in
version?
the Eastern style of
That still counts. I'm proud of you.
Well, good job.
No, I mean, this is manga that I have to read in the traditional style, backwards for
Right.
me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well,
That's why we're proud of you.
Kudos.
Good luck.
I'm going to give it a shot because I love this story and I love everything about it, and I may be able to read it, so I'm pretty excited.
And then when you're done, you can root beer it and make
we
that.
don't do that no more. Jake, what did you say? What did you skip a whole volume in? Which story?
Oh, so I've skipped volumes multiple times,
so at
but
least
famously
twice.
I read Lazarus Volume 2 thinking it was Lazarus Volume 1. So I read all those ones out of order, and I didn't even realize it till I did a video on it.
Yes, Monster Volume 5.
Yeah.
You know, back in our day of collecting comics, you had to do that a lot because you couldn't find single issues of very expensive comics, and there wasn't like collected editions. So, you know, I think we've all done. Lars and Jess and I know probably.
Oh, okay, but Monster Collected Edition is this thick.
Yeah,
There's a lot that I skipped.
I don't know how you did that. I like Jake. It kind of makes sense. Jake is like, oh, this is wow. Greg Rucka really thinks I'm smart and you just throwing me into this world.
Yeah, I was like, I was thrown in and I just wrote on for dear life. And then I read the first one thinking it was number 2. And I go, oh, it's a prequel. It's like you get a flashback. And then I did a video on it and everyone was like, dude, you read those out of order.
I have to go here shortly, but I want to leave you with the story that you were talking about manga, and I recently went to manga anime, in in-town performance of at a venue called the Val Air, Cowboy Bebop, a big band performance.
Yeah, we saw that.
We went to that too.
It's really cool.
Oh, wait, you went to the same show?
No,
not that one. We went to one in Kentucky.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, but I mean, like you went to the same. Yeah, okay. Kentucky. Oh, yeah, wasn't it fabulous?
Oh, yeah.
I was looking
absolutely fabulous. Well, we did it here at the Val Air. Now, the Val Air is very important to me because it's where my parents met. Okay.
Wow.
It is, in fact, where my dad met 2 of his wives.
The same day?
No, not the same day. Not the same day. But, you know, he liked big band dances, and there was limited opportunity in town. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Are you a fan of Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, I am a fan of Cowboy Bebop. I think I don't actually watch much anime. It's not that I have anything against it. I just, you know.
I think Jess has watched it, and I know he likes it.
Yeah.
I love Cowboy Bebop.
Very good.
That's definitely one that, like.
Oh,
the guy who's just like.
Oh, no, yeah. Nice. Yeah. No, yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. It was a proper performance. You know, it was a proper show. More disappointingly, they had a live orchestra to. Oh, there we go. Excellent.
Yeah, and the screen in the background.
Yeah. It was fat. Well, there we go. No, you went to the same. Yeah, exactly right. We went to a performance in town at our big civic center of Spider-Verse, and we were like, okay, but it was just a live orchestra, and they were just playing the movie, and I'm like, I could just be sitting at home watching the movie. I don't know.
That's cool. That's how they used to do like Fantasia, right?
Sure.
Like,
no,
Fantasia, I mean, the idea was to have a
live orchestra.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right, but
you're down here now.
Star Wars was pretty cool when I saw that. Empire Strikes Back at the Hollywood Bowl with the live orchestra. That was fun. Everyone brought their lightsabers.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't. But like, if it's basically like the movie or the show all over it, but whereas Cowboy Bebop, it was a proper, you know, performance, which is what you would want. Frankly, I've heard that sort of same complaint about the Back to the Future musical, that, you know, some people are sitting there going, I could just be watching the movie.
Actually, I think you told me it was good. Never mind.
I've never seen the Back to the Future musical. My brother went to see it. I never went to see it.
Yeah.
It's
anyway, I have to go. I am being invited. I am being invited to a proper election night party with politics and everything. And then a friend of mine, I said, "What are you doing for election night?" She's like, "Oh, I'm going to be on my couch under the blankets, cowering and crying." I'm like, "I'll check on you after 9 o'clock. It's okay." So anyway, so you all have a great night. This has
wait. Last thing before you go. After 52 votes, 83% like when we order and eat food and ice cream. So I just want to leave you with that, and I hope we see you pop onto Crisis' stream and with your own instrument.
Yes, we will see.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to play the
the mouth harp.
He's playing you off. This is better than the live orchestra Spider-Verse that you saw, right? Jets with the mouth art.
It is. It is. I feel like I'm catapulted back to the Des Moines Civic Center. Absolutely, positively.
Have
a great night.
Like
everyone.
I hope to have you
DeLorean.
on again, Lars. Thank you for
Oh,
being
he'll
on.
never be
Please do.
back.
Please do.
You scared him away. I'm surprised he lasted.
Lars
this
likes
long.
structure and like bullet points and like
Yeah.
we're hitting the hour mark. We need to be over here. Yeah,
It's
I was
just-
like, oh, you've never been to an Omnidog show? That's pretty bad.
It's a little more freestyle.
Plus,
A
he's
little
never
more?
seen an Omnidog show, so it's like completely.
Well, has
delved into
anyone
the
seen
deep
an
end of
Omnidog
it.
show? No one watches his channel.
What the hell?
I mean, it's been a minute, but I did.
Yeah, Melanie would watch. Like,
Only
Melanie,
when I'm on having milkshakes. That's when she watches.
That was the last one, actually.
yeah, you turned her off of
I was doing my-
Omnidog.
No, it wasn't. I was doing my crafts and I was watching.
Melanie's
Trying to bring
been
all the
on.
boys to the yard with the milkshakes.
I was sad that you're probably equally sad that we were supposed to get Absolute Mr. Miracle in a week or two, and then they pushed that back until January. So
Thank you. I just asked Omar. I said, when is that? When's that Absolute coming out? But he didn't answer. Thank
Well,
you for the information.
you're welcome. I'm the true home of collected editions, I guess.
Boot him off of this damn thing.
Is he powered by the comic releases?
There's compliments for the Mark Waid episode.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And having somebody that was there, you know, working behind the scenes when a lot of these books started, because he was assistant editor. It was really cool just to hear some of those stories. And then of course he didn't even know one of his stories was collected in the Wonder Woman fine DC Finest. And I was like, oh yeah, like it's really cool because these aren't, you know, creator centric. Now they can collect everything like Epic Collections. And he's like, what? One of my stories is in there? And I was like, yeah, it's the Brave and the Bold. I think it's issue 6. The Power Girl Supergirl Wonder Woman.
It's kind of sort of Jake's thing.
Matt's awestruck. I still can't believe you guys got to talk to Mark Waid last night. Awesome.
He is a genuinely like comic book historian. Like I've interviewed him in the past, but last night was just like hanging out with Mark Waid and talking about comics that he didn't write, which I've never done. Like I've interviewed him and we've talked about how much I love him and how much I love all his stories, but I've never just talked to him about comics. Like I knew he was a big Legion fan. And I knew that, you know, how important Wally is to him. But it was really cool just to see like the behind the scenes of like talking about being at the comic book store when like year 1 was coming out and how you go from like Batman 403 to 404. Like being at the comic book store when you got Batman 403 and then you jump to year 1 and you're like, oh my gosh, this is something special. This is so different. This is like something we haven't seen before. And then we talked a little bit about the colors of year 2. Oh, I did ask him how he feels about, or no, Dom asked him about year 2.
What did he
What's
say?
his opinion?
He's very political. He was like, well, you know, at the time I really dug it. Mike W. Barr's story was really good. And there's some things that, you know, haven't aged well. But I did remind him, if not for year 2, we would not have the greatest Batman movie. And he agreed. Batman Mask of the Phantasm is the greatest Batman movie.
Oh, well, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, that's still my favorite one.
I've still tried to get Omar to sign my deluxe year 2, but he still refuses.
It did not work on that book.
DeLorean, that's so cool. I love Danny Elfman
She does.
so much. I bought Oingo Boingo because I was like, it's Jack Skellington singing.
Oh, Oingo Boingo was such a good group he had. He was amazing in that.
Oingo Boingo?
The band.
Yeah,
had a
that was
band?
Danny Elfman's band
tough
in the
as
80s.
He's tough as nails.
Yikes.
He's tough as
I didn't know he had a band.
Did you hear the Dead Man's Party song? Is that
Yeah.
him?
Yeah, it's a dead man's party. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Wait,
great.
play it with the mouth harp though. Give me some Dead Man's Party on the mouth harp. Who could ask for more?
Yeah, it was-
Have you guys,
Unlimited.
have y'all talked about comics yet?
We're
Yes.
happy to hear what you have to say.
A little bit.
Oh, just a little bit. I was gonna ask what everybody's reading, like currently, like this week. What are you reading?
Yeah,
Great.
Lou, I haven't talked to Lou in forever. Dude, are you still reading single issues like digitally or what are you reading
Yeah.
these?
Oh yeah, no, dude. With the kid, with the space that we have, it's all digital for me at this point. As far as comics goes, that hasn't changed. It's a lot easier. It's more convenient for me, and space is at such a premium where I'm at right now that there's no way I could go back to what I was doing 6-7 years ago with those books anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not happening.
Do you have Hoopla, Lou?
I don't. No. But it's one that you've turned me onto it for a while now, and you said it's worth me investing in it, just to get the application.
Yeah, it's free. I had to go to a neighboring county library to get it. My Fairfax County libraries didn't offer it, but I was talking to the minister
on your library, Jazz. I'm going to tell your congressman.
I'm going to sorry.
I'm going to tell your congressman that you're cheating on your library.
Well, they don't have Hoopla. They don't even stock graphic novels. I have a sucky library.
Oh,
Chris Brogan is the greatest library in the world. He pulls books every day that are something I never have read before. But Hoopla, I was talking to the minister. Chris Brogan, he's in the chat.
Oh, I thought you said Joe Rogan. I'm like, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan does not watch the show.
Okay, that makes sense.
I like seeing. I'm reading the chat, seeing what people are reading. Like NFL Dude 56. That's awesome that you like X-Men. Good for you. I gave it one shot. Well, the first issue, I said nope.
Poison Ivy. So
Poison Ivy's really good. That's a great book. Great book, Twisted Sister. Kissed her. Oh, that's also good. A lot of good reading going on.
What are you reading digitally?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now, I've been just really diving into the Ultimate stuff. I've been really digging that a lot. It's been really cool and fascinating seeing them reboot the Ultimate Universe and how that's been playing out. That's been fun. And really, to be honest with you, this has been kind of a light year for me as far as comics. I've been kind of jumping back into a lot of pro stuff. I've read a lot of stuff over the last year that I've been enjoying there. It's been a weak year for comics for me. In fact, when we do the Omnis this year, I might just end up hosting because I don't think I have enough content to participate that much into it. And we might just get somebody else to dive in with Jess, and we'll do the Omnis that way this year.
I've got a list of people that want to work with Jess.
I've been listening to prose this year, and I've been really enjoying that. So I read my comics and I just finished Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, and I'm gonna do Swamp Gods by Terry Pratchett. I love that book. Next, and who ordered Catwoman Lonely City, Mr. Awesome? I looked at it today, but I was too tired to start it. But I'm excited to.
Oh, so great!
To start it.
Glad you're going to read that, Mr. Awesome.
Omar interviewed Cliff Chang.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And so he autographed our copy. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading it.
Super sweet guy. And I had a lot of fun talking to him.
I saw him at Baltimore and I picked up I already have the hardcover, but for some reason I didn't take it to have him sign. So I bought 4 of his issues of Lonely City and I just had him sign them. I had to buy them.
I bought, when I went to see Zdarsky, I bought Failsafe.
Yeah, I was like, you already have that.
I don't care. But I didn't have to
You gotta do it. You know, I've been there.
Story.
I was feeling the same way.
So
I had to get it.
And I got that Batman the Night. I was like, what's this? And he said that was his first Batman story he wrote. You'll like it. And I was like, okay.
Is that the one he wrote to Melanie, not Omar?
Yeah, so he wrote, I said, sign this to Melanie, not Omar. And he wrote to Melanie, not Omar.
He's such a sweetheart.
I love Jake Zdarsky so much. Jess, what are you reading?
I was just showing this
I want to show pictures.
the Witching Hour off. That's what I just finished.
You don't read. Do you read multiple things at once or one thing at a time?
He's reading
one thing at a time.
Oh, I read multiple things at once.
I have to dive in. I have to dive in and read all the book. I'm going to do a video on magic, my favorite magic series. So I've been reading that for like a month.
Like Magic Order?
Magic the character.
Magic the Gathering? What are you talking about?
books that have magic in them, like Witching Hour is all about magic.
Oh!
Magic Orders,
I think you meant
Magic
like
Orders, all about magic. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
I'll probably have a 2-part video on that. Then supernatural and demons and occult. That's what I'm going to try and do. I've been promising it for 5 years. So,
Oh man,
Picture
I've
it.
promised videos for 5 years. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Chip Zdarsky.
let me highlight you just a
He's
second.
got his leg up on the table like a lumberjack or something. I don't know.
Does he look like a brawny man?
And then Omar saw him outside.
Oh yeah, we
So
had
he
a
could
good
take his mask off. I was like, I'm so jealous.
we had a good chat outside. Like, I
Is
really
he
enjoyed
just as out there as I think he is in person?
Yes.
Yes, and that make because you never know when with creators
Right.
you enjoy their work. Sometimes it's a little zany, a little out there,
Mhm.
and then when you meet them, they're pretty like
Mhm.
vanilla. Like
Yeah.
right. No, Chip is out there. He's a lovable dude. Doesn't have anything negative to say about anybody unless he's
That's-
joking. And when he does joke, like you can. Some people don't know
He
that he's
talked
joking.
about like when because I listened to oh well,
We can run a poll on this if the chat wants to answer.
Easy.
no, not my baby. No. What was I saying? What? Oh, he said, y'all want to know a little bit of Chip Zdarsky backstory? Well, 2 things. First of all, that's not his name. I don't know his real name. I forgot. Secondly,
He told us his real name.
I don't forgot.
You mean it's not Chip?
No, that's his
Uh-huh.
pen name.
Okay.
Secondly, he kind of years ago he got a divorce. And
Oh.
afterwards, he's like, my therapist loved this. I created a persona, Chip Zdarsky. And he just went from there. So like that's like his way of like having fun, right? And so he like so we did have like normal conversations, but he's such a nice, cool, funny guy as well. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're just like walking back from the interview, right? Like you don't have to be on. And he was talking about his wife. He was quizzing his wife about Batman. She knows nothing about that. And I was like, that's awesome. So yeah, that's it.
Logan says this is like a comic YouTube all-star stream. We need BJ and Dominic from the Comic Book Report too. I did post a link for both of those guys and Chris Balga. And Bunk, but I think that and Mitch, I think that they have to put their kids to bed first. They all have young kids.
They're all voting right now at the polls.
Wait, they better be like on the
Except for
West
Peter.
Coast
He's in
then,
New Zealand.
because you can't.
I think they're all putting their kids to bed, and then they said they'd come on. So probably in a little bit, those guys will be on too.
Kane, I like your comment. Also, Matt, that's funny.
We got to hang out with Kane at New York Comic Con.
Yeah,
She's
we got to meet up and go on Artist Alley and then just sit and be tired, right?
Yeah.
And eat snacks.
Oh my gosh, it's like ripping
Aw.
and running at New York Comic Con, like going from
Yeah,
one
it
panel to
was.
another one.
Oh, thank you, Logan. Steve Murray. James Abel, where you at? You jealous of Logan Wayne? I'm gonna start a fight.
Oh, I feel like I like Chip Zdarsky like 1,000 times more than Steve Murray.
Oh,
I think it's a cooler name. Like it definitely sticks.
Oh, thank you for highlighting that.
Did next
ICYNI.
Imaginaut, did he tell us where he got the Witching Hour Deluxe Edition?
Thank you, next Imagine.
Oh, he said he was he had made a mistake. It is a reprint of the trade paperback.
I hope they do. I mean, it's not like hey, where is my dude? I like that guy.
I'm gonna send him this picture
I
right now.
invited him too. They're all invited.
Jess, this is a wonderful idea. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for appearing. I really appreciate seeing you guys. It's really nice.
Yeah, we can't stay long, but I did want to come and say hi and thank you for inviting
I really
us.
appreciate that.
My mom is here, so I'm gonna go spend a little bit of time with her and edit. Has anyone ever asked Chip Zdarsky if he identifies as a potato chip or a tortilla chip? News food. Chris,
Good question.
what?
Actually, that's a really good question.
What?
So I just I'm really lazy with driving, and I haven't driven to the comic book store, so I'm not caught up on Ultimate Spider-Man.
Somebody needs to take your nerd badge away.
And I love going. I just I don't want to drive.
You're so lazy. You should take
That's on my
advice
list to
from
do
Jake,
too.
who orders food to come to his house.
Oh yeah, that's true. I won't spend the money.
I didn't even go downstairs to grab it. I texted my wife and was like,
Oh my god!
"Can you bring
Wow,
it, please.
dude.
I love you."
Oh my god.
But then again,
Yeah,
I'm not
We
comic
would have
section
lost,
to do that
we
with?
would have lost half the audience if I left for a sec. You know,
Whoa,
right?
really half?
I would
you
have
just
lost my-
DoorDash
I would've-
something?
No,
I would have lost my
Are we doing
marriage.
milkshakes? Are we
I did-
DoorDashing milkshakes? Come on.
Heckbar, no. I'm against DoorDash.
Well, you're not gonna get McDonald's because the shake machine's always broken,
Wait,
right?
you're gonna say when I DoorDashed Omar a milkshake, he didn't share it with you?
She was at work. I told you about that.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
I think it's
Yeah,
when
I
we
was-
reached 80,000 subscribers. I think maybe 90,000. Jake sent me a milkshake. That was really sweet.
Adam.
Yep, that's
Oh,
Adam.
yes, okay. Adam, did you know I heard there's an app that tells you if the McDonald's ice cream machine is working or not.
What? Shut up. There's
swear.
oh my god.
No, it's true. It's called McBroken.
I haven't. Jess actually started the website.
I'll put that with Wikipedia where I'm not going to source that.
Did any of you work at a fast food restaurant? I assume everybody here did, right?
I did a movie
7
theater,
years.
which
Oh yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like
For 2
has
months.
a fast food portion
At
to it.
McDonald's. That's why I knew about
So-
the shake machine.
Our code for a good-looking lady at the drive-thru was always the ice machine is broken.
The ice.
And, dude, we laid it on so thick because we were in high school, right? We're like, oh my god, the ice machine has never been this broken, guys. Get your asses right now. And it was like some fat dude in a Speedo with his dog, and everybody's like, I hate you so much, Omar. You always do this.
Wendy's
Oh
ice cream.
man.
That's a hot take right there.
Maybe
Ooh, you talking
I
about
don't
the
know.
what is it called? The
Frosty.
Frosty, yeah.
The
Oh,
frosty
no,
is
James, I
liquid.
disagree.
I'm sorry,
I
Chris
like
won't be
Frosty
able to,
Chino.
Chris won't be able to join. Well, I'm sorry, Chris, but
He's got
I hope
work
you can enjoy the stream.
like me.
Sorry, Chris.
Chris is a really good guy. I love
Yeah.
him. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
His
Melanie,
dramatic
what-
voice makes any solicitation sound better. Like he can sell me on the most boring book in the world just because his voice adds a flair to it.
Oh,
I feel like that about BJ too. BJ has a really good.
You need to have both of those on there for your OPB stuff. That way you end up selling a bunch of books.
I feel that way about Ask a Mortician.
Guys, the ice machine is really broken. I'm talking
Zdarsky.
Zdarsky level.
Zdarsky level, you say.
The rise of Zdarsky has always perplexed me because he started off as kind of the weird guy that was drawing sex criminals, and then and then he broke out and did his own, started writing his stuff, and everybody went, "Oh, this guy can actually write as well as draw really well." So it was that Daredevil run that really launched him, and it's a great run too.
Yeah,
its own right.
that's
been really cool
what
seeing it.
made me be a fan. Yeah,
He-
Daredevil run.
So he told me that it was behind the scenes, but he said that sex criminals, by the time that run was over and the amount of money that him and Fraction had made, he was like, my wife was really happy with that. She could see that this can be a career.
That's awesome.
And I was really happy to hear that because, you know, that's awesome. It was an independent book. And of course you got Matt Fraction there too, though. Right.
Yeah.
But you never know with these indie titles. They can go one way or another, as we've seen from time to time with different creators.
That's true. How many great titles have we seen just go under within 12 issues and they just don't last from great creators too?
Like, what's the new one everybody is hyping up that I was going to get the trade paperback and then somebody told me to wait because it might be over. Local Man, have you read that, dude?
Oh
No, I haven't even heard of that.
I have it on my shelf.
Yeah, so everybody's been hyping it up this year, so I was like, oh, well, I need to check it out. And then somebody told me just recently, like, to wait because
Who's doing it?
it might be over. And I think isn't it Tim Seeley and
Let me go get it.
Tony Fleece, right?
Oh,
Isn't it both of them working on it?
oh, Well, good for Tony.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jess.
Tony's a great guy. I don't know if anybody who's talked to him before, but he's a great guy.
Here's a question kind of related to this. Do you think it's a case of there's so much good stuff out there that it's really difficult to find time for it and to filter out the really great stuff from the really solid stuff? I'm not saying it's bad, but everybody's time is just filled with so much great stuff to watch and to read.
Yes, there's so much to read, and I want to read so
right.
Yeah,
I think that's a good. Wow, we
Jake go.
booted Jake out.
Oh, I had to go to the bathroom. I didn't want to interrupt, so I was going to leave.
We live in an interesting time where I think there's an overabundance of just really great stuff to consume from everything. That there's just
that's a good problem, right? It's a good and bad problem. It's a good problem because you have all this stuff that's great, or at least you think it's great.
Jewish Dragons.
It's a bad problem. You're like, oh, I don't have any money, or I don't have the space anymore. Yeah, Local Man, that's the one.
It is a trade, and you're right. It is
Tony Fleece and
Seeley.
Yeah, both great creators on their own. So this is something I've been hearing about that I was like, oh, well, I need to check that out. And then somebody told me to wait because I never know. Like that's the thing about being a trade waiter that we always talk about on Omnibros. The beauty of it is like, oh, I'll wait for the trade, and then a year goes by, you forget that the series is out, and then they announce your first deluxe edition, and you're like, oh, I'll just get that, and then they'll announce like a complete collection, like an omnibus edition, and you just get that. And in Jess's case, he'll get the trade, he'll get the deluxe edition, and then
he has gotten better. No, he has gotten better in the last few months with that stuff. So
oh my gosh,
what's the most you've double dipped on a book?
Jess was insane. I was like, oh, I love this guy. That's
Was it worse than me when I was pretty bad? I feel like I quadruple dipped on a lot of things.
2016.
We won't talk about Sandman.
Jess was just buying stuff that I don't even know why. I remember like my first show on him, I was testing the waters. I'm like, I wonder if this guy will just buy anything I say. And I remember saying, I'm going to check out Steve Orlando's Justice League Deluxe Edition. And Jess was like, oh, I'm going to buy that too. And I was like, whoa, why? That story sucks.
Did it? Scarlet Witch.
No, Steve Orlando is one of those guys that like I don't like some of his things, and then a lot of his other things that I do enjoy. Like
Scarlet Witch is great.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I'm because we saw him at New York Comic-Con, and he was like, I've got
last year?
No, this year. Remember, he's the one that said, I've got enough stories to make an omnibus.
Was I there?
I don't think Warren has ever agreed with anybody on
either
anything.
you or Ryan.
I'm pissed off. No, it was Ryan. It wasn't me. I want to say hi to Steve Orlando.
You left me. You were my camera woman, and you were like, hey, Ryan, here, hold your camera.
I'll be right back. Let me get my charger.
And I really appreciate it.
Okay. Wait, so Local Man Volume 3 is coming out this month? I've only got apparently Local Man Volume.
Yeah, that's the one with the time jump. Like,
this is 2. So where's my number 1?
Go ahead and read 2 like Jake, and then go back and
better that way.
But that was the beauty of being on Omnibros was like, we were talking about books that had come out a year ago or 6 months ago, and then people in the chat were like, oh, you can't wait till you guys read this and this. And it still happens on like our Saturday live stream. Omar, have you read this? And I was like, if it's a single issue, probably not. But
once I get my act together, I will have. I'm such a failure at life. I'm not getting about singles.
Simon and Schuster 1 through 13 and 25, and the Gold and Bad Girls one shot. That is July of. That's recent one that they just added to the catalog. Then, yeah. So that's the time jump I was talking about, Jess. So it goes from 13 to 25. You remember when Image was doing those time jumps like in the early 90s, where like you had like Supreme or Youngblood or Brigade or whatever the hell they were. They would jump to issue 25 so you could take a look at what was going to happen in the future of these comics.
I like that.
Well, it was a gimmick that they did back then. I don't think they've done it since then, except for this. So that's really cool.
I feel like the problem I've had with comics lately, and maybe Omar has some advice on this, is I have to read a lot now for overviews of new stuff that I'm finding it hard to like find personal reading time. You know, like there's so much of the reading I do now is for content creation or for creator interviews. Like I'm catching up with older stuff for creator interviews, or I'm like reading the new releases as fast as possible to pump out a video. So it's hard to like carve out personal reading time.
Yeah, it's hard for him too. I'll answer that.
This is what I do.
Right, Norse, Fantastic Four.
Oh, I will make time for that. Luckily, that goes into my. I have to read.
There'll be books on beside the bed.
Yeah.
That will stay there for a long time because he's not doing it for content creation, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It happens, man. And I do this for a living, so there is like, you have a full-time job. So I remember those days because I was.
But I work from home, so do I really have a full-time job?
Well, that's between you
and schedule an Instagram post.
Check. I don't know what you do.
I think I'm on the clock right now.
Yikes. But it's definitely one of those things that you have to sacrifice. And I had this conversation with my brother last year because he was like, "How have you not played any video games?" And I pointed at my stack of books. And I was like, "I got to read all that." And he was like, "What?" Because my brother is one of these, like, he has a great job. He works from home 3 times a week and makes a huge amount of money and has enough time to put in. I remember when he got Final Fantasy VII, I was like, dude, he had it for like 4 days and he had like 60 something hours. And I'm like, I'm doing the math and I'm like, 60 hours in 4 days. You haven't slept.
I'm having a hard time recently just because I love my job a lot, and I'm a high school English teacher, and you put a lot of energy into it, and then I don't have time to make videos or read anything.
Hey, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Jordan. Thanks for joining.
My better half that I'm not married to.
Are you guys in the same room? Please tell me you guys are in the same room looking at each other.
No, very different houses.
But yeah, there's like some manga. I was like, maybe I could read it, but then I ended up helping my girls with their homework and such, and
that's more important,
and things like that. And I don't know.
Jordan last night was like, "Can I keep?" He said, "Can I read more Absolute Lin Wein Swamp Thing?" And I said, "No, you have a Thor overview due Wednesday, so start reading Thor by Cates." And he goes,
That's
"But come
right.
on, I'm right at the end."
Like a teacher.
I said, "Get back to work."
Is that your boss? Is that your boss, Jordan? You're gonna be like, "Oh man."
So the weird thing is that I'm Jake's manager, but Jake's my manager. So I don't know how that plays out sometimes.
You guys have a really interesting relationship. And
I bet if you
it's gonna be you both on the camera.
Ooh, have fun next time. Is it okay? Can I ask? Can I?
Good night, Lance.
Answer Brewski, I'm gonna guess is how you pronounce
one?
it. Yeah. Just really quick. My advice is to find something that you can pour creativity into, because that gives me a lot of joy. And just being geeky and being myself. Because it is a very difficult job and I can take it way too seriously. And actually our friend, Omar's friend from 3rd grade, Father Frank, he told us that he told me, you're also just being a good role model, teaching people how to be good kids, like that. So
yeah,
I guess that's my advice.
That's awesome. For someone who's worked in classroom environments in high schools and worked with a multitude of different teachers, being a great teacher is kind of like a standout thing within that orientation or in that community. So Labruski, based off of the stuff like that you posted and you talk about, you seem like a great guy, and as long as you put your personality and you're able to mix that into what you teach, dude,
you're between Deadpool and Wolverine. How can you go wrong? That's awesome.
Let's go.
Oh.
Yay.
So now let's ask the question: did you do your Thor by Cates reading? Are you ready?
I have read up to issue 10 of Thor by Cates. So that puts me at about a third of the Omni so far.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Donny Cates did leave like 2/3 of the way through the omnibus. So take that as you will. You know, if you're doing the homework, just saying, maybe put in as much effort as he did. I remember one of my favorite questions I was ever asked on Omni Bros. I think it was a first or second episode. It was when Lou was taking a break and I was subbing in for him. It was me, Gabe, and I think it was Jess. But somebody said, "Hey guys, I'm about to dive deep into X-Men, and I really want to get into Bendis' stuff. Like Bendis' X-Men. What do I need to read ahead of time to understand Bendis' X-Men?" And I said, with the most sincere look on my face, do the same thing that he did. Absolutely nothing. Don't read anything. Just go into X-Men without any knowledge of X-Men, and that's how you enjoy Brian. Because I've read Brian Michael Bendis' X-Men, and where's Peter at so I can fight Peter over what the?
I think he's currently streaming guitar music.
We met him, and he is such a wonderful person.
Guy's a class act.
And I filmed him and showed him to my creative writing students, and I was like, "Look at this great, like, positive energy."
He's a super nice guy. Mm-hmm. Doesn't get a pass for X-Men sucking. although to his credit, if it wasn't for him, I don't think we would have the popularity of characters like Magic. He really put Magic in the spotlight, and a lot of that had to do with Chris.
And he created Miles.
Oh no, I'm not saying everything he did was bad. I just wasn't a fan of his X-Men.
Yeah.
And of course, Bizarro Kentucky brother over there, Warren, when his X-Men is great.
He highlighted Emma a lot too, which I loved.
Yeah, well, I mean, Grant Morrison was doing that already, right?
Yeah,
they started with like Scott Lobdell, and then Grant Morrison was like, "Oh, let's give her a second mutation and just make her diamonds." And
me and Kay were just talking about that karate today.
And then and then Bendis was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll also use magic." And then and here we are with gold balls and magic, egg or whatever the hell they're calling him these days.
Yeah, what are they up to now that Krakow is over?
Gold balls?
Yeah.
I hope the same place Maggot is. Two people. I think Bendis' X-Men is what got Jess in the X-Men, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Chris likes it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that love Bendis' X-Men, and I get it.
It was okay.
Yeah.
How was it compared to his Superman stuff?
Oh dear.
It was better than his Superman stuff at times. Yeah.
How bad was the Superman stuff? Because I never heard great things about it.
I did not like his Superman run. And I want to go back someday now that there's been a lot of time, because a lot of it was how much I loved what was before it. So I'm trying to separate that, but I wasn't a fan. But the covers, some of the covers were great at the time.
Because the hype was Bendis is coming to DC Comics, and everybody thought, "Oh, cool, he'll probably write The Question or Batman or something like that." Oh, they gave him Superman. That's a weird choice.
That Batman Shorts Walmart comic was really good, though.
Yeah, you read Jordan, the Batman stuff, Batman universe, because I loved Up in the Sky. So
that was great too.
Oh, the Tom Taylor, right?
Tom King. You got string cheese, Jess?
Do I? I'm sorry.
String cheese.
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah.
Wait, don't fill up. We're supposed to DoorDash milkshakes.
Too much dairy.
For some reason, I'm still hungry after eating 3 things from Taco Bell.
You were worried about the size of that one burrito.
Taco Bell, though, man.
He chickened out on the grilled cheese burrito. I tried to push him on that.
That thing looked monster size, man.
I did it, and I'm alive.
We can do a giveaway. We have that gift card courtesy of Jake. You want to give it away right now, Jake?
Give away string cheese.
It's your show, man. I mean, is the election over yet? I don't know.
Whoa.
No. I don't think it works like that, Jake.
Actually, I totally forgot. Wait, this is something people forget. Wait, is this the
first year you were able to vote, Jake?
No. I've voted twice before. I think for president.
Twice?
Yeah, I'm 27, right? So that's what, -8. Yeah, I voted for 2 presidents before today.
Jake, buddy, you're 28, dude.
Okay, so that's 4 plus 4. That's 8. I voted for. Well, I didn't vote when I was before 20 because I didn't care. I'm California. Doesn't matter. But
George, legitly,
I
your
voted for
other
2
half
presidents
keeps
before
telling
this
you about
election.
the dates. Actually,
Jordan and my
you're
wife
not
were my
27,
age.
you're
I don't know how
28.
old I am.
That's right.
What if Warren Weaver?
He said I would say I was neutral and astonishing. It wasn't amazing like people say. Maybe actually, no, I should take that. That's a win, isn't it? That's
From
a win.
Warren?
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to therapy about how to interact with people instead of. Well, he's not saying this sucks. That's a step up in the right direction. I remember being so pissed off at Warren. I was like, I want to ban him from my channel for saying something stupid on Omni Bros that Gio told me about. I can't remember what it was though. Oh man, like Gio's like, I gotta tell him.
2 words for you.
Good to see Tyler Smith here.
You know the words.
What's up, Tyler?
That's small, special.
Should we run a poll for if the chat wants you to order a milkshake, Jess?
I
Gotta
don't
give
want a
the people what they want.
milkshake. I don't want a milkshake. We can do a giveaway of your gift card.
Sure. What's the phrase? What's the magic word?
Just a sec. I'm gonna see who there was somebody
Ooh,
that
they wanted to be freshman prom king.
Aw.
Is that a good thing? Is freshman prom king not a good thing?
I love that you're going for president of freshman prom king.
That means I didn't peak at the first year. That means I got 3 more years to win too.
That's
Or
Or maybe you just keep repeating your freshman year over and over.
Oh.
I'm not sure what Matt's trying to say.
And then a vote for Melanie to be president of Marvel Comics.
Hey, Barjo.
Then she could write those $300,000 checks to Omar.
How did she get that vote?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I wasn't born in this country. I don't
Would
think I
that
could
be
run
good? For the president of
for
Marvel.
president of Marvel Comics. Meet the age criteria. I just wasn't born in the United States. That's my
but you have the
problem.
politician hand. You were like doing this number.
Let me tell you something about Spidey.
They're gonna screen grab that and Photoshop something in.
So Melanie actually got drunk with Nick Lowe, the editor of Spider-Man.
Y'all don't worry about how you feel about the man. He F-bomb remembered that I was an English teacher. Whoo! That made me feel good.
He's like, hey,
So twice. And he was
what's
like,
up,
hey,
English
English teacher. And I was like,
you made an impression on Nick Lowe.
that made me happy.
You should have been like, oh,
Especially because I just got yelled at by a New York.
We don't
bouncer.
need to tell that story. You should have been like, oh, you need to kill Paul off and bring back Mary Jane and Peter Parker Spider-Man. That'll go over well on the internet. Show us the birth certificate. It's upstairs in Spanish. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's in our file folder.
Yeah.
And
When we got married,
it's handwritten.
it's handwritten. Are you laughing at my birth certificate?
Is it pencil or pen?
It's been.
It's blood, Jake.
Oh my
That's how
god. Yours?
gifts
You
are
were just a baby.
certificates.
Yeah, you were like Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole does
I think someone still needs to have the birds and the bees talk with Jake at some point.
What?
I'm married.
Segue was that? What happened?
Just saying, Jake feels young, a little too young. He doesn't know how old he is. Never voted.
I'm older
before.
than you. You can't call me young.
But he's your
you're
other
like
half, though.
23, dude.
See, we're seeing this is legitly the two
How old-
couple way over here. We're fighting with one another now.
Which one of you is the
One's telling them
brave?
how old they are. The other one's like, "What?"
Which
I'm the
one of
one that
you is
says
the-
keep reading and stay brave. He says stay bold.
Oh, you should say "stay boy,"
Oh, stay boy.
which is really bad English, and
Stay
also
boy.
would make me question the content of your channel. But it really fits the brave and the boy. Stay boy. Handwritten in a big kindergarten crayon, really, Matt?
Giving crayons is not a.
No, I'm making fun of my freaking birth certificate.
Get it.
You're lucky you got a John Buscema freaking Wolverine right there. My birth certificate, yeah. Bad kid, that's a cool picture.
It
Napkin.
is actually.
I think the answer is I want to be Jess.
No.
Yay. And actually, you don't.
Jess has had a good life, though. He's had a really good life. So
And he will continue. He has many more. He's gonna have a great life. He was saying that like past tense. Did you hear that?
Yeah, you're
he was
saying
like he had a good run, and
I'm
now it's
saying-
over.
I'm telling him not to sell himself short. That he's had a good life. Like, why would Jake not want to be Jess? Makes sense.
To be
He's
eating string
respected in the
cheese
community.
with all my
He
friends.
really managed to piss off a handful of Bat
The
fans.
Injustice League.
I told Jake about the Injustice League.
Oh my god, I
I'm
love
a
adding
member.
members. No, Jake, you don't cut it, man. Like, to be part of the Injustice League, it's like
You have to steal somebody's book club. Is what we got.
I told him that
Or
story.
mispronounced Constantine.
I can't tell that story without laughing my ass off. That's like one of my favorite Jess stories ever. I told that story to
Hey,
Bobby.
make sure Jordan and Bunk don't insert for the gift card. They can't win. Anyone on stream isn't eligible.
Oh, okay.
Okay, welcome, Bunk. Good to see you.
Hey, bud,
I
how
would
you
I
doing,
would
buddy?
like to hashtag OPV gift card as well for whatever that's happening. Can we write that down, James? James, I'm down on there for that.
I think
What's going on,
James is-
guys?
Oh, James is here.
Of course, James is here. What kind of question is it?
Come on,
Yes,
let's
James
get him
is.
5,000. He's right at the cusp.
You wake up in the middle of the night, oh, James are here.
Oh yeah, I do ask if James is here. Like, I need somebody to write something down.
Okay,
Oh,
we're
no.
deleting this one. Jordan's girlfriend can't enter for the gift card either.
Oh, that's funny.
I think it's fair game. Anybody can.
I think she can. Yeah.
There's a
I
gift
didn't
card?
even ask
Tony
you
and
to
I are
do
gonna
that.
enter
Okay,
right now.
everyone can enter except for Jordan.
I wasn't informed that there was a gift card. There's a gift card.
Hashtag OPB gift card.
There's no reason.
Courtesy. It's to celebrate. It's to celebrate 52% off DC Omnibus and Absolute and box sets and Image Deluxe editions and hardcovers until November 8th with free shipping.
Wait, that means I
Wow.
can get my woe back.
That was
Sounds
really good.
Yeah.
like
Can you
a great
say
deal.
again?
But what if I wanted to like earn or like have a coupon that would take even more off that, like maybe $2 off of my order? Like, what code would I use at that point?
What's your code?
I believe the one you're looking for is code Omnidog, Bunk.
Oh my god, that's.
But what if I'm getting 4 books and I want to get 5% off?
Well,
I mean, that is a
then
real question.
that's a legit question, and the answer is Omnidog set. 5% off shipping 4 or more books together. Omnidog set.
Cute.
That worked out good.
Let's get a little bit of mouth harp for that. Come on, give him some mouth harp. Organic price books, where your books are so organic. 52% off DC Absolutes and box sets. Get both the Swamp Thing Absolutes and the box sets to get both colors.
Oh
Nice.
man,
That
I
was
just got a
beautiful.
text message from JP.
That was
It says,
wonderful.
fire Jake. Not sure why.
He literally messaged me today and said, "You taught me something on Shopify that used to take me 4 hours a week, and now I can do it in 30 seconds. I'm so grateful." So he loves me.
And JP was kind enough to donate a $25 gift card
Sure.
for the
yeah.
giveaway.
Yeah. we'll
And
just do
so
that.
if everybody's eligible except me and Jake, so
Yeah,
and I
Jeff
guess
would have been
Jordan.
eligible, but he overwent our time slot last week.
And I apologize for that.
I don't accept your apology.
Great, you're in the Injustice League too now. Hashtag OPV gift card to win that gift card. And thank you very much, JP, and thank you, Jake, for helping out tonight and providing that. Let me start collecting comments.
Code Mouth Harp actually makes your books twice as expensive.
Oh no.
Well, that's kind of weird. We have like 78 viewers and only 19 entries for the gift card.
Well, is it US only?
I actually don't know.
Well, I think what it is YouTube viewers notoriously hate free things, so I
Yeah.
think that's the problem there.
I mean, I'll fatten this up, man. I'll go ahead and enter. Melanie can enter. Get her kids
Sure.
to enter.
What? No.
Yeah, get on in there.
Rami,
I have my
it's-
wife in her.
you
but I
need
can't
to
win the
put
gift
Rami Darwish at 924. You need to put OPB gift card. You've got a D in there, my friend.
Yeah, William's good with those odds.
Holy
that's
smokes,
fine.
that
It'll be
chat's so
chip
crazy.
Need to make a jug.
Wait, do you want to screen share
Yes.
the collection so we can see people joining?
Kentucky jug.
That would be hot.
Tyler's saying some of us are just here for the fun. Eric, what's up, dude?
DBZ.
I like Matt's hashtag Omar Spur certificate.
Man, that was a tangent.
Is there an Omar birther movement that I didn't know about?
There is. Blood or crown.
I don't know how you all do it here in America with your fancy technology.
We're typing.
But in Peru, they had to write it out. I told them I'm old enough to run for president of Marvel Comics, but I wasn't born in the United States, so I cannot be president of Marvel Comics. Yeah, so
I just have a handwritten note in my wallet that says I am 15 years old, and that just typically passes for it.
You'd be the governor of Marvel Comics, though. That could work out for you.
I could be married to the president of Marvel Comics. I'll be the first gentleman. Is that what they're called?
Oh,
first dude.
We don't know, do we? The first dude. Yeah, that'd be cool. First
dude. Yeah, you know me.
That sounds like a movie.
The first dude.
So, Jake, are you the youngest one here, or is Jordan younger than you are?
Jordan's like 4 years younger than me.
Okay.
And even younger if you consider his life experiences.
I'm 2 years younger than Jake. Thank you.
Formative years, though.
There's the couple thing again. We present that case.
The worst is when Jake intentionally spells my name Jordon.
I noticed that. He does that a lot.
No, here's why. Because I'm 28, but I act like I'm 80. I use talk to text all the time, and my middle name is Jordan, but spelled the other way, and my phone knows that. So my phone will put my spelling of Jordan because it thinks that's what I'm trying to put, and I'm too lazy to change it. But I also do it as a power play.
We're gonna go to marriage counseling for it. So
Matt said,
and many
Jake
other
said
reasons.
I like the middle child. Are you a middle child, Jake?
No.
Are you an only child?
No, I wish. I have an older sister, but yeah, I have an older sister.
Okay, I didn't know
Jake's bedtime is my favorite.
If we're talking about spelling, Jake, how do you spell white?
It's 6:30.
Oh my gosh, the one guy. What that guy say about that comment? He called me a white guy, but he spelled white wrong.
Yep. Oh, that's why you kept that going over there. Yep.
Was it like a WIGHT guy? Like you're an undead creature?
That's a good one.
Oh my God, Jordan, what was the comment we got a few days ago? The way I pronounced Perez for the DC versus Marvel book made them cry in Spanish or something like that.
Because instead of saying Perez, you say Perez.
We thought one time, because I kept butchering the name and Jordan was trying to get me to say it right. What if we cut Jordan in just to pronounce Perez in the correct way and then back to me for the rest of the video? But we were worried that would look offensive or something. The internet's a scary
I thought it was
place.
hilarious.
Yeah.
This is my joke too, so I think we should have done it.
A $36 Golden Age Superman Volume 2 minus $25 minus $2 on Omnidog coupon code is like a completely different price.
For the win.
But the problem is, then you got to figure out how to get that free shipping back. So you got to buy something else because those prices are just too good.
True.
They are amazing.
See, what you guys don't know is Jake is 28, but his heart's 78, according to Labruski.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think getting the third cat is what cemented me as a 78-year-old because now I DoorDash my food. Working from home, I'm like, sometimes I don't leave my house for 3 days and I just feel like I'm Jess.
Oh,
yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I would go crazy if I stayed home for 3 days straight. Oof.
I leave my house for 30 seconds and I get COVID. That's not, I mean, that's what happened last year. So why should I leave my house?
This is so true.
I went out and got the mail today, so that was big.
Everybody, put it up for Jake. He got the mail.
Jake!
Michael, of all the sacrifices that we are celebrating today, the bravest is this man who got the mail.
I felt brave enough to do it because I put my Batman Crocs on. It looked like Batmobiles.
I took a
had
free
wings,
test,
I guess.
a black belt test without preparing, and I passed. Yay!
Heck yeah.
Under protest, Beyond Comics, we leave the house. Under protest.
That's still wild to me that the one time you left your house and for an extended amount of time is the one time you get COVID. This is
What about the time he left and made friends at the movie theater? There's positive times when.
Oh
Jesse
yeah,
leaves the house.
for Marvels, I made really good friends at the movie theater. We had fun. That was fun. They
You
were
gotta
so
hand out his
excited.
business card.
And at Spider-Verse, you made friends with Mermaid Cora.
Oh, that's
So
that's
you
right.
just make friends at movie theaters. It's like everywhere else, like just people are angry, but you just need to like go to the movies every day.
I think that might be the
Movies,
key.
Good. Anywhere else? Bad for Jess.
I think that might be the key.
Is it a new comic?
Later, we find out Jake texted his wife to get the mail. He had to put the Crocs on to get enough courage to ask her.
I do have to ask, Jake, does your like whenever like you get into a little bit of dispute with your lady, do you ever bring that up? Well, yeah, but I brought the mail in today.
No, I don't talk back. I know my place.
That would
Well,
piss
we
me
found-
off.
We found a good.
Gosh.
We found a good system because we've only been married for a year now, so we're still learning, how to be better as a married couple. I would do things around the house because when you work from home, you feel like you need to do some things around the house. But I wasn't doing what she wanted me to do. But I was like, but I did these things, and I hate being told what to do. So we got a whiteboard on the fridge, and she writes a list of 3 things she would like me to do, and then I do.
You have a chore chart?
It's a honeydew list. It helps.
And he gets an
You get
allowance.
stickers.
I get it all because I can't spend. I spend too much money. So she.
It gives
I
you an
swear,
allowance.
I do things for her too.
Allowance. He must well be in middle school again, guys.
I'm
Is it
just
in
glad
the
I'm
form
not
of
the
a
youngest one
spinner
here.
and you go up to it every day and like you spin and like
No,
that's
she
your chore you have to
colors
do
in the
that day?
stars, and when I get enough stars, I gotta buy it a collected edition.
He gets, he gets
Oh,
a,
wait,
he
for
gets
real?
a pool from the toy
No,
box.
no, I don't pay for.
Oh,
comics
okay.
anymore.
I was like, well, maybe.
My little humble brag. I'm just kidding. No, but I do. I'm not great with money, so I do. She is in charge of the finances. and-
That's a good thumbnail, by the way.
Yeah.
Like you want clickbait. I'm not good with money. and
Wait,
just-
and like that, like you're
never
pretty
think
It's gonna be. Yeah, I spent too much money on this house.
Wait, Jake, aren't you in charge of the Brave and the Boys finances?
Uh-oh.
What money? We don't make any money.
I have a feeling that's a great name for our channel. I'm not great with money.
Our show's a non-profit. We just do it for the love of comics and to get new readers.
Mm-hmm.
I think For the Love of Comics has trademarked that, so you
Yeah, I
can't
was
say
gonna
that.
say,
Dang
did
it.
you for the channel? For the love of comics channel?
And actually,
You
and
can't
actually
use that.
Angshaman is in the US right now, so he will
Yes, he
fly
is.
to California and he will mess you up.
Yeah.
That means
Yeah, he's gonna
scenes,
explain to me
like,
in person why he hates
so
Bone.
chill.
He's gonna tell me why he hates Bone. Can we
You
all
have
talk
to
about
be
the fact that Jess's hero for the indie hero stream killed 60 million people?
Here's Mermaid Coral's Instagram. Thank you, James. That's amazing.
You made friends with a cosplayer?
She was young and with her mom. I would guess she was about 16.
What a great way to start that.
Whoa!
I was with
Stories like
Patty.
that?
No. Take it easy. Maybe she was 18. She was with her mom. She was.
You should
dressed-
check, bro.
This is not getting
You should
better.
always find out for sure.
I was with Patty, and we met, and I said, "Your costume's awesome," and we got into a conversation about Spider-Man. This was the first movie, whatever it was, Into the Spider-Verse, with a under 16-year-old minor child accompanied by her mother.
I don't like it when he says it like that. Did you give her a business card? for the
Somebody
channel?
needs to write your script for you. Where is Patty?
Lead
Where
with
is
that.
Patty? Why is Patty not on
Let
the
me
stream?
as your intern write your
And he's gonna
script
be
for
like,
that story.
"This is the script. You stick to the script. You don't go off the script." That's
Yeah,
when you
let
get
me
in
be your
trouble.
Jason. Let me be your intern.
And
The other
you
day,
know the
Jess was at
internet
a movie.
The internet can clip things, right? Like James has already clipped all these things.
Oh,
You're gonna be on
it's already
some kind of
posted in the
list tomorrow
Omnidog
morning.
Discord.
It was completely wholesome, and she was a sweet person, and so was her mom. And Patty
All of that
was-
will be left out of the clip. Believe me. That's how the internet works.
Why don't you
I
say
gotta
you
get
the
inspired
movie,
the
and
youth-
she was
you inspired the
16,
comic
and
youth?
that's the clip.
I got to get going, but I do. Kane had a really good question earlier.
That's what I was bringing up.
What time?
9:27, real
There
time.
you go.
I think this is a good question for everybody. I am curious what everybody else thinks. And why? I like the
King
why.
927.
That's it right there.
I already
Okay.
Fire away,
Cool,
Jess.
Start.
Who's your favorite publisher and why, Jess?
Probably DC. That's the publisher that I grew up with and am most familiar with that universe. So it's an emotional and attachment, and that I kind of have bonded with their characters as much as I like Marvel and all the other independents and stuff. I'm a DC kid at heart, and that's that I have a emotional tie with them. I love a lot of their characters.
Great
As
answer.
an English teacher, you get a check mark. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
But you didn't
Thank
check
you.
check marks and you get a collected edition.
Is Jake's wife also buying you collected editions? I'm not sure how this relationship works and where Jordan fits into all of it, but that's a story for another day.
Jordan watches.
I gotta get going, Jess.
Oh, well, before you leave,
Tell us your favorite publisher first.
Yeah, what's your favorite
Yeah.
publisher?
Who's your favorite publisher?
All time. All time.
All time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Vertigo.
Oh.
Specifically a certain era of Vertigo, that 90s, mid 2000s Karen Berger era of Vertigo.
Yeah.
Was really just, man, like some of the most important comics came out of that time. I think more so than Image, because Image to me really didn't really start becoming Image that we know today till like the mid 2000s. But Vertigo for me always had that special place from the 90s into the 2000s, because I would argue that their output versus current day Image is far better. I mean, you have so many classic things that came out of that line.
Mm-hmm.
And then last question, Lou, before you go, who's your favorite wrestler?
Okay,
all
we're on
time,
a 30-second hourglass.
All time and currently wrestling.
all time, it's a toss-up between Dusty Rhodes and Shawn Michaels. Now, there's a caveat with that, because Shawn Michaels was I can't cuss here, right, Jess?
Are we talking
Yeah, no, go ahead.
or are we
Okay.
talking
Lars-
like,
Lars
original
cussed
like
up a
HBK
storm.
jerk, or like when he finds God, he's born again, and then like he comes back after?
Original
Kid?
Razor Ramon WrestleMania, I think it was 3, the ladder match, Shawn Michaels cannot be touched. He's just showmanship, in-ring work. You can make an argument for Bret Hart being really close there. There's
Logan Wayne likes
something to
Bret
be
Hart.
said. Huh?
And Twisted Kister. Logan and Twisted Kister like Bret Hart.
Well, Bret Hart was amazing. His record speaks for itself. But there's an argument to be made there, especially with the Montreal Screwjob and all that stuff. But Shawn Michaels to me was the total package in his prime, which is like the 80s, early 90s. Modern day, it's a little bit tougher. I really like right now. I'm enjoying what Dominic Mysterio is doing. Just because it's fun. He plays up. It's really difficult this day and age to be a legit heel, because kayfabe has kind of been ruined and everybody kind of knows the behind the scenes stuff at this point. But to me, Dominic Mysterio right now is just on an amazing run of just being. He's such an ass that you love to hate him, which
He's
is
a
for
heel
me.
who successfully had a heel turn.
Yes.
What?
He went farther than he was before. He was already hated, and now he's hated even more, to the point where he can't even speak in the ring, which is just amazing. MJF was that a few years ago, but I think MJF's star has really cooled off in the last few years because of AEW in general has just cooled off. But
Hey,
for me, it's Dominic Mysterio.
don't be talking bad about my guys right here. I was at Dynamite just last week.
Did you enjoy it?
Dude, it was such a good show.
Really?
Young Bucks, that Young Bucks versus Private Party is what is maybe the best tag team match I've seen in person.
Okay, cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah. My daughter, I just got my daughter into wrestling this past year, and she's been really digging it. She loves Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's awesome. And
Is she gonna read? Is she gonna read? Do a power bomb?
Oh no, my youngest isn't into comics. She nenever got caught back.
Wrestling?
Does she want to eat?
I thought it's wrestling.
oldest.
I love that comic.
Does she like?
That's an
living at
amazing
home?
book.
My oldest really
There's
isn't
a
into
restrict.
comics. She's really into not weird music, but she's kind of going through. She's 13 now, so she's going
She's a
through that
Smiths
phase.
fan. I sent her
She's
that
a Smith
Smith
fan.
button.
Yeah,
I
she's
love
going
your
through that phase where she's finding out who she is and what her tastes are. Right?
Oh, that's adorable, man. Some of
Yeah.
us are still trying to find out who we are.
I'm still trying to figure it
Figure it
out.
out.
Ben, I brought do a power bomb for a kid a freshman boy in my creative writing class. I'm going to let him read it because he loves wrestling. And I was like, well, I have a comic for you.
And also, your heart's just gonna get broken, so just be prepared for it. But wrestling happens, I swear.
So, what about you, man? Real quick before I get out of here.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. 20 minutes.
So
later.
Omar, Al Snow, for the classic stuff.
I do like Al Snow. I met
I know
that
you
dude.
do.
He's a comic book reader. I met that guy at a comic book shop so many times. He's walking in there with his mannequin head, and I'm like, this is so cool. And always, up until I think when we went last year, 2 chicks with him. Never one chick.
Oh, is it just
Al
one
Snow,
chick this
2
year?
chicks.
And this last
And
time, it was
Mannequin Head.
3.
Mannequin head against kick out. That dude.
And for current roster, Omar,
I don't watch any of this.
just say a name.
Rey Mysterio, sure, that guy.
He's still wrestling. It counts.
Really?
Yeah, he's
What a-
still doing it, man.
Yeah,
No, classic.
his knees don't bend anymore, but he's still doing it.
He can
Like
still
Ultimate Warrior
springboard.
was my jam back in the 80s, man. I love that dude. Rock and Roll Express, any tag team from the 80s, like Hawk
Rock and Roll
and
Express.
those guys, the Road Warriors.
Yeah, I was gonna say you better be mentioning Road Warriors if you're
Oh,
talking
Road
about
Warriors are
pure
the
look.
best, man.
Yeah.
Those guys were great.
Yeah. So, my favorite back in the day. I'm a big character guy, so it was always Mick Foley for me. Like I grew up in the Attitude Era, and like I'd be playing N64 with all my buddies, and I'd be racing to see who could get Rock, who could get Stone Cold, who could get Undertaker, just like the big beefy dudes. And I'm like scrolling through, and I'm like, I remember the first time because like my parents wouldn't let me watch wrestling in my house, so like I had to sneak it at other friend's house. And so like the first time I was like, who's this dude with the mask? They're like, oh, you don't want to be him. I'm like, I'm being him. And then it was just like, oh, this is great. And then just like getting to watch and the Rock and Sock combo and just like Mick being just like so weird and out. I'm just like, yeah, no, that's my guy.
So I'm Puerto Rican, so wrestling is kind of ingrained in our culture, very much so because of the territory days and stuff like that. So I was watching wrestling since I could crawl with my grandparents and my parents and stuff like that. It was such a huge part of that island, and it still is a huge part in many ways. That people would get into it. People would really get into it to the point where when the bad guys would come out, they would throw spark plugs and batteries at them and stuff like that into the ring. And
yeah, man, people were like, "This is
really
real."
Yeah, somebody. I always forget who it was. Somebody was murdered. A popular wrestler was murdered in Puerto Rico during the 80s, and I can't for the life of me. I always forget his name.
That's horrible.
Yeah, he was stabbed in like a shower or something like that. So Puerto Rico took wrestling very seriously back in the day.
I mean, honestly, that's the biggest compliment you can give a heel. It's just like you're so good at being a bad guy that you got murdered in the shower.
He got the ultimate compliment because he got shivved in the shower.
It was Bruiser Brody. That's who it was. Yeah.
Wow.
Another wrestler.
Way to hijack the conversation, bunk.
That's what I do.
I was like, I'm leaving, but I wanted to hear Lou's favorite wrestler. He was in the wrestling.
I know Lou was sleepy and leaving, and then all of a sudden he perked right up once Bunk asked the question.
Oh man, you asked me. Yeah.
We're talking about Pulitzer, bunk. Came
Which
and fell asleep.
You asked me
Which
anything about
boutique
wrestling.
movie label has the best movies?
Well, it's Arrow.
A24.
Arrow Video.
Arrow. Okay.
Wait, what are you talking about? Distributor, or are you talking about
Trauma.
Jesus, Trauma? Or are you talking about
Like
the,
who makes the best like editions of 4K steelbooks, like the best re-releases of things like that?
Arrow? It's Arrow.
Okay.
Don't answer that question. Did you not hear him say he's bad with money? This is a bad question to answer.
He only gets so much though. He gets an allowance, as
No, but if I do the honeydew list, I get more checks.
Oh
and,
my god.
or more stars.
Well, I guess if that works for you, that.
However your marriage dynamic works, man, I'm happy for you.
How many
Whatever.
stars are you at?
3.
Logan's asking before we go. Say our favorite publishers.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Marvel.
Marvel. This is a Marvel family, man.
Because just the same as Jess, I grew up reading Spider-Man and X-Men, and that's just so I don't have some big deep reason. It's nostalgia. It's just that's what I grew up reading as a kid. So
yeah, same. Like
I love indie stuff too, and I love DC stuff, and it's just. But if I have to pick one, Marvel.
Yeah, it's a game of like if I had to choose one and everything else had to go away, for me it's gonna where's the X-Men? Where's Wolverine? So it always has to be Marvel for me. That's why. They mean a lot to me. So.
Oh, thanks, Kate.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that.
But I did want to hear everybody else's before I go though.
All right, I'm getting out of here. Bye, guys.
Don't hijack any more of this, bunk.
Why did you invite me? Literally, my whole shtick is I go on shows and I make them talk about wrestling and Magic cards. I don't know anything about comics.
Jess is doing a show on Magic cards later.
Yeah, whole two videos.
It's like a video series on Magic.
Yeah, I mean, my computer is literally leveled by Magic cards at any given time. I just go in my bulk bin and see like how I need to just throw like, okay, I need 2 more cards over here to get the right levels.
Punk's working on Magic.
All right, Jake, before he cuts you off and asks you what your favorite Magic card is. I
wonder if everyone can guess mine. No, mine is obviously DC. Like when I was super young, the only cable channel my family had was Boomerang, so I grew up on like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons of like the 70s, thinking they were modern cartoons. So the Super Friends I just spent all day watching the Super Friends, and I loved it. And then I got Batman the animated series and Superman and Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and like I just poured through all that stuff. And then I found out that there was a whole world of comics that I could read to get even deeper for it. So that's what I love the most.
Goldfish. That's a good answer.
Good answer.
Mark.
All right. What about you, Adam?
Marvel. 2 words. Spider-Man, Wolverine, enough said.
Oh,
those are 4 words. That's okay. That's okay.
It's like 2 sets of 2 words and then together.
Yes.
4.
Don't correct the man, Bunk. Don't correct the man. He's right. Spider-Man, Wolverine. I get it. Yeah, it's great. Dude, and how about that Spider-Man versus Wolverine fight? I remember in the 80s when that came out. That was like, oh my gosh. It's like a wet dream come true. Like, I can't believe I'm holding this in my hand. It was amazing.
Wait, what was in your hand in that wet dream?
I have
what's in that wet dream? What was in your hand?
Don't kink shame me. Not what that's about. Good answer. What about you, Punk? Who's your favorite publisher?
So I would say the same thing as Lou, except I think of Vertigo more as an imprint. But I just like think back to when I was in late high school and college, and it was like anytime a new Vertigo series would come out, it just like sight unseen, like I'd buy that issue. More than likely it's going to the poll. It's just like there was so much quality. And even when it wasn't necessarily great, there was just so many new ideas that it was just like my poll list was always dominated by Vertigo. But since I think of them more as an imprint than a publisher, I would probably say the closest thing I got to that was Aftershock in the last few years.
Wow.
Even though they were an IP farm, I got some of that same kind of feeling where it's because they were basically just trying to create series that they could sell as sell the rights to. They were coming up with some really cool ideas and really great stories. You didn't really have much in the way of ongoings, but they had some amazing miniseries that they were putting out. Just so many good one-off stories. You know, Jess, we read, I made you read Kaiju Score. I made you read, Hell is a Squared Circle. Everybody knows how good We Live In. Everybody thinks of them as just sort of, they were just trying to sell the rights. But there are so many great things. Omar, you just covered that Warren Ellis Shipwreck title. I mean, you go through there, hit after hit after hit.
It's weird because like I don't hear a lot of Aftershock these days. The same thing with TKO. Like I don't really hear a lot about TKO these days. Because there for a while they were just like, we've got 8 titles this year, and each one of them, like Bunk was saying, was, oh my gosh, superb. Like the idea, the stories,
Did
the
TKO do
art.
Sarah?
TKO did Sarah.
Okay.
So 14 votes
nice.
so far. I didn't know you were doing a poll. Cool. That's a good answer, man. I never hear anybody talk about Aftershock like that. So that's a good answer. What about you, Jordan? Is it Jordan the last one left? Right?
I guess that'll be me. Yeah,
Wait. Are we talking about Jordan with an O? So that
was
we're
thinking
giving
that
Jake a
too.
second time?
Jordan
Do
with
we
a
like
Y,
it when
actually.
Bunk is
Weird.
covered by the gift card hashtag, or do we like when Bunk is seen?
I like him seen.
Okay.
As far as it goes, it's funny how close Jake and I kind of like paralleled each other. I mean, I grew up, but I had cable, so I had access to a lot of the different DC animated shows. I primarily watched like Cartoon Network and whatnot.
He's not talking about the character.
So, so I would watch things like Batman Beyond was probably one of my favorites growing up and getting to experience all those episodes. And then I branched out into comics probably when I somewhere in my teens started going to my local comic book shop and picking up just a variety of different ones out there.
Good answer, Jordan, because no one else has said it so far. Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I'm saying bad answer. It was too close to
Original
mine.
answer.
Be your own person.
And on that note, I have to go upstairs and
I knew you're gonna be excited about Batman Beyond.
and do a little bit of editing. Thank you, Jess, for doing this, buddy.
Thank you for being on.
And thank you.
Yeah,
It was
thank
nice
you,
to do a show
guys.
with you, Adam. It's the first time doing it. Very
Yeah.
nice, man. Good guy.
I like that's classy.
You all have a great night. Who did
Wait,
that?
I'm gonna
Bump?
be
Was that a
Ace
bump thing?
Rimmer.
Do you want to know who Ace Rimmer is?
I want to start doing it at the end of streams.
Do you wanna know who
He's
Ace-
from It's Cold Outside. There's no kind of atmosphere.
It's Red Dwarf.
More
They
or
all know
less.
British shows.
Let me
All right, we're leaving.
Singer straight up.
And Melanie plays them off.
Stage left. No, that was right.
Great.
So, are we gonna do the gift card giveaway, or are we gonna keep the people in anticipation?
I mean, I brought some stuff down to unbox because I wasn't sure how this was going to go. So you know, if you guys need some entertainment, I can do that. Or if people want to run the gift card. Whoa, hold on.
I said
Hold on.
plural.
Liz, excuse me, please.
What? I think you
This
said
is a family
singular.
show.
Yeah, Vanessa's on Team DC.
All right. So first off, because it's the closest thing to me.
Hold on,
This
let me
was-
solo you for a sec.
There we
So-
go.
Oh, it's wrestling. Hold on.
Wait, no. Hold on. So this was sent to me.
No.
Oh, Jake.
It was a second.
How did I give you
So-
that much power? That's crazy.
On once, this is what I opened. I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. It's a new promotional AEW comic written by Steve Orlando." I flip it over. Oh, beneath the trees where nobody sees, the SDCC exclusive con edition ash can.
What? How?
Uh,
They just were nice.
He's been a buddy of mine for a while. We've sent stuff back and forth to each other, so he had my address. I knew nothing about it, and then it just like shows up, and I messaged him. He was like, "Yeah, just I was able to get a few copies at a good price, and I want to spread the love." So, yeah, that was super cool.
It is super cool.
This is not an unboxing, but real quick, I have a tradition every second November, every 4 years, being here in the US. I won't say anything more than that because we're not doing that. But when I'm standing in a certain line, it's generally a bad time. I read Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen and
I love
all of my
that
bad
book.
times. And yeah, and you know who told you about that book, Jess? This guy in the chat. And I was so glad you had read it. But yeah,
Wow, you did?
I did. It was a show with the minister.
Minister, okay, you got us both
And,
to read it.
Oh god, I tried to remove solo layout. I fucking hate the order it's in. It should be removed from solo layout first.
Okay, we have our New Zealand correspondent who's joining us.
Oh,
Batmantha.
Sorry,
hey!
talking about wrestling, so I thought I'd jump on.
Oh,
She knows
gonna get off
wrestling.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you were in training with Dakota Kai, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So my daughter's favorite wrestler is Raquel Rodriguez. So she has made me go back and show her so many of the old NXT Raquel Gonzalez with Dakota Kai stuff. So unfortunately,
That stuff was good.
It was great. It was, back when she was like doing that bodyguard stuff, and then like, she comes out, and then that's where Dakota has the, has the heel turn on her. For most of, unfortunately, her WWE career, she's been injured. So my daughter hasn't got to see her really wrestle in real time. So like, we met Bailey, and so she like knows all about like damage control, but she's like known Dakota Kai just there, but like she's seen all of those old videos. So that's really cool.
That's cool.
Did you have a specialty in that you were doing? Like, were you a high flyer? Were you a striker?
I wanted to be a high flyer, but I
never wants to be a high flyer.
Yeah. But
That's
no, my time in the ring is over, thankfully.
I mean, mine never began, so you got that. On, I would guess everybody
It
here.
still could though. It's not too late, Bunk.
I actually
we saw your Halloween costume. You look like you could do it.
On
That's
Saturday
true.
night, I had a buddy come over, the same one that we were over there at their house. His son is obsessed with John Cena, so I put my John Cena outfit back on.
And
he was
disappeared?
giving me it depends on how fast you were looking, but I did give a grown 40-year-old man an attitude adjustment that he was not expecting, and I slammed a 170-pound man on the floor that he was a little taken aback by.
This is Halloween night?
No, this was Saturday night.
Saturday? What? Wow. No, you can read Jimmy Olsen by itself.
Yeah. It is very specifically written so that it is standalone. It's vignettes. I mean, honestly, you could, for the most part, read that story out of order because it's told non-sequentially and just really have fun with each of the like individual little things. But instead of me showing off stuff, what have you been getting into today, Batmantha?
What did I interrupt? Sorry, I missed like the last few minutes before I jumped on. So what were you guys about to do?
I was showing off his goodies that he got.
Jake asked me to show off my what term did you use?
I specifically said packages, like boxes. He takes everything out of context.
It was not pluralized.
James, play the clip back.
So I'm a big Stuart Eminem fan. I finally found a copy of Grass of Parnassus. So very excited to pick that up.
Is that hard to find?
No, I just hadn't found one, and then I just like happened to it was like, oh, here you go. Here's one for a price that I want to do that. That's exciting.
Okay.
And the last one, I've actually been waiting to open this until I was on with you, Jess.
Live unboxing.
Yeah.
It's not a finesse unboxing. This is just a how fast can we open this?
It's okay.
News Boo, Jake vanished. That's
going for
not a
wrestling.
surprise.
Maybe. It could be.
I can rip off these fat words. That'd be good. That's a good start. Next thing, bumper.
What in the world did you order?
I did not realize when I jumped on a Whatnot show, and I did not realize it was coming from Hawaii. So it was packaged
Aloha?
very, very well. Aloha goodbye or aloha
Yes. No. What?
All right. So.
Ooh. Oh. Beautiful.
It keeps on going.
I love it. Yeah. This is great.
Jake missed this package? What the world?
Wow, this is so awesome.
Yeah, so the guy was moving, and so we just put up a whole bunch of lots. And by the way, these are packed. Like each one of these has its own Mylar, as if this thing was, but yeah. And then that's the important part that I wanted to show you. And then the other part is a run of the the most recent Guardians of the Galaxy, which I thought was the Al Ewing run, but it says Lansing. So I guess Danzig did this one. So, get the Misfits going. So that's sweet. But yeah, mostly you've been talking about that Scarlet Witch run so in such high terms that when I saw that come up, I was like, I'll buy that and give it a read.
That's awesome. I'm so happy. I hope you really like it as much as I did. I haven't read the reboot with Quicksilver in it, but the first couple books that Orlando did were super solid.
Well, I mean, if it's written by the writer of AEW Origins, Steve Orlando, I figure it has to be great.
Yeah. Did you enjoy that comic, or have you read it yet?
I have not read it yet.
Okay.
What is that?
So this is the AEW, so All Elite Wrestling League. So they're owned by.
I do know what AEW is.
Okay. I figured you did because you're a wrestling fan, but it's mostly.
I didn't. So
he
was telling me.
But yeah, so they're partnered with DC. They're doing like a big cross promotion thing. So like when I went to Dynamite last week, they had all of the DC superheroes around the ring. And this is a wrestlerized version of all of them, and it tells the origin stories of a lot of their top stars. So you got like Orange Cassidy, Swerve Strickland, Timeless Tony Storm, Britt Baker, DMD, Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin. So they've been
I've never seen that.
So they've had in some of the recent DC issues, they've been running like 2 or 3 pages of just like one of those stories in there that you get interspersed with it. And I think this is just a collection of all of them together, but I don't know. It seems cool.
I'll have to try and find it.
Thank you for explaining it.
I would have liked the explanation better if he was wearing a famous bunk tank top and not like the most buttoned sweater I've ever seen him wear before.
Is it cold there where you are now?
No, I just I came directly. So I went directly from work to our friend's house that we went over to tonight. And then basically I took my daughter who fell asleep in the car upstairs, sang her to sleep. And then the second that she was actually asleep, I just ran down here to get this on so that I could be part of the stream. So
can we hear the song?
Do you need a mouth harp with it?
Yeah, he'll mouth harp while you sing.
I can tell you the playlist.
Yeah,
I have a
I asked, but okay.
I have a whole Spotify playlist that so we do. The most recent edition is "What's My Name" from Descendants. And it's specifically the Rise of Red. Not those Descendants. It's the Disney movie.
The Disney ones.
This is with Johnny Rotten, so this is this wouldn't be Descendants. Watching the Apples Grow from Canadian folk singer Stan Rogers, Blackbird by the Beatles, Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, Father and Son by Paul Simon, Johnny Appleseed by Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros, and then Songbird by Fleetwood Mac.
You sing every one of those songs?
I play the playlist and then I sing along with them, and she falls somewhere along with them. But yeah, I sing all of those along with it.
That is such a sweet and wholesome story.
And if you want Bunk to sing you to sleep, that's the top level of bunk mates.
Unfortunately, our top bunk tier of premium bunk content is sold out at the moment, but you can get on the mailing list and find out when a spot opens
I've been waiting, but no luck.
Sorry, man. Once people get on bunkmates, they do not want to get off.
I was on the pre-order for the bunk list, so I luckily snuck my way in there. So
this is my current favorite. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Just from the 2 shows that I've seen with the sound off. WWE Raw that I watch on Monday nights.
I think
if you want to beat Bat Nessa, if you could just start typing your name Bat Nessa.
Hey, friend, I'm gonna have to sign off for tonight. I got my significant other waiting for me. So
tell Isabel I say what up.
I'm still here, Jordan. I'm not leaving.
Well,
oh, he means his insignificant other.
What does that mean?
Whoa!
Oh, Jake's throwing shade around.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm his significant other. I mean, comparatively to me. Okay. Good night, man. Finish your Thor reading.
Friends. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks for being on, Jordan. See you,
have
Jordan.
a good night.
Why don't we give
I
away
thought I was
the?
bored and significant other.
Why don't we give away the gift card? Okay, we have 36. Oh, just a sec. That wasn't. It's weird.
Did it time out again?
Are you going to make everyone type it again?
No. We have 36 entries. I just thought we would have had more. We have 70 to 80 people watching, so I thought people would actually want to win a free gift card. So I mean,
actually, I'm just watching on 30 different tabs.
Okay, so here's the gift card that Jake and JP are so generously are donating to the stream, the peace and love stream that we're having right now. So last call for the OPB gift card, and you let me share my screen. There it is. Let's see. Can you see it? Yep. Okay. So this is for the OPB gift card. Thank you so much, Jake. And here we go. And JP.
And here we dance.
Sure. Jewish Dragon.
Hey.
Super generous guy.
Yeah,
lovely person.
Knowing Jewish Dragons, they're probably gonna use that to just send a book to somebody else.
Yeah, probably. So generous. Congratulations, Jewish Dragons. Congratulations. Oops, let me take this off now.
And remember, you can use that gift card on the 52% off DC Omnis Absolutes box sets and Image hardcovers. And there's also an IDW sale that's 42% off, but I didn't know. That was a lot to type out. That'd be a long ticker.
So we got, what do we got? DC, Image,
and IDW.
But it's only
Where's the
Image
Marvel
Deluxe. Like if it's an Image softcover, it's only 42%.
Did you know better? I didn't even know that.
That's true. I think that's true. Like one of your comments on see, I actually care about the TBATB community, and I look at your comments and
subscriber number 86. He was my 86th subscriber.
Wow,
that's true.
Okay, Juice Dragons, are you still here? He may have dipped out. What does he need to do, Jake, regarding this?
I'll ask JP for the gift card tonight, which means he'll send it to me in 3 to 4 business days, because that guy has like 16 businesses and an 8-week-old angel that he's caring for. So he'll probably send me the gift card in like probably tomorrow or the next day. So just do you know how to contact them? Can I give you the code, Jess, and you give it to them, or?
Yeah, Jewish Dragons is
reach out, send me a message. I got a Discord too, or however, and we'll get you the gift card. But we'll make sure you get it. It'll probably be a day or 2.
I have his email, and he's also in my Discord. So yeah, I can get it to him if you want. Congrats, Geezer! Wow. Always Joey from Down Under. Always been a DC reader, mostly. Which do you think is best? Jumping on point. Oh, for Marvel, I have only read Infinity Gauntlet. Thank you, bros. Are you asking where you should jump on for Marvel?
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'd probably say that too.
I would say you need to know a character that you would like.
Yeah.
True. If you hate Spider-Man, I'm not going to force them to read Ultimate Spider-Man. Daredevil.
Everyone loves Spider-Man, though.
I know. But I feel like you can read any Daredevil run, and it's most likely great, except for Shadowlands. But any Daredevil run other than Shadowlands.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, like, the Marvel Knights line is kind of made for people to jump onto, and the Bendis Daredevil there is kind of like a perfect place to go and kind of go. The Marvel Now relaunch, he's got a lot of stuff there. I feel like I wouldn't say it's a good place to start Marvel, but it's a great run that you can read on its own. The Matt Fraction and David Aja Hawkeye run.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
I was just looking at that.
I would say for X-Men, Astonishing X-Men, that's where I started. New X-Men is what got me hooked on it too. But I think Astonishing would be a better choice probably for X-Men.
Yeah, because it's a smaller book too.
I also I feel like a good place to start is any Tashin edition ever. Okay, kidding aside, I feel like Dan Slott's Silver Surfer is great because it's such a fun book and it's on its own, so you don't need to know anything before or after.
Can we take points away for Jake because you should have said Sandman? No,
I read things besides Sandman.
Brubaker's Captain America as well.
Yes,
yeah,
that was when it, that was what that was kind of what
volume away.
My Marvel collecting in college. You know, I'd been like kind of dipping around some different things, but it was really Brubaker's Captain America where I was like, I'm having a pull list. I'm making sure I have this and all the associated titles. So that's a good call.
And you could do Bendis and Brubaker Daredevil since Bendis Brubaker takes over the storyline. Those are 4 really great books that are a perfect introduction, I think, to Daredevil.
Bendis's Daredevil is my favorite book ever, so I'd recommend that to anyone.
Yeah, I agree.
Thor by Jason Aaron.
Yeah.
Thor?
To your point about Brubaker, Bendis, Daredevil, I've given that book to friends of mine who aren't comic fans, but are just like fans of things like The Sopranos and things like that, like just crime shows. And I was like, read this book. Because the beginning, it's just like, it's the crime family sitting around. It's Daredevil, like inserting himself in. It's just, you can give that book to anyone that knows nothing about comics and just be like, you're going to love this.
So I did a video. I did a video on my TikTok because I've got a comic book TikTok now.
Oh, you do?
That's Batmantha. You can follow me at TikTok, Batmantha.
Nice.
I saw your
anyway. I did a what's that?
I saw your newest one that you ended up making your own team out of the people that you end up getting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've got some silly stuff on there, but they're a lot of fun. But I did a video, I think yesterday or the day before, about top 5 Marvel Omnis for new readers, and I said the same thing as you, Bunk, that I think you can give Bendis's Daredevil to anyone, like even people who aren't interested in superheroes, not interested in comic books, and you could turn them around. It's that good.
All right, so for everyone, James just linked it. Don't listen to what we're saying. Just go watch that TikTok, and that'll probably tell you everything you need to know, like much faster than we can.
That's great. I'm so happy for you that you did that. Make sure you trademark that Batmantha name so nobody steals it from you.
Yeah, I took it as soon as I got that name.
Nice. I want to answer this question because MD has asked it a couple times now. Omnidog's all had a question from last stream. That was last night. What about Transformers from Image doesn't work for you? This is in the Energon universe. That's a fair question. The answer is I didn't grow up like almost all the chat, maybe all the panelists here. I did not grow up knowing anything about Transformers. So when I started, I had a rough idea that Optimus was the good guy and then the Decepticons were the bad ones. What's the head Decepticon's name?
Megatron.
Megatron. Okay, thank you.
But Starscream is the one who starts off that run.
Okay. See, I don't know any of that. What would have really, and so the book didn't, I read it 4 or 5 times because I couldn't tell who was who and what they were up to, I guess is the only way I can say it. What would have really helped me, and I don't blame them for not doing this because all you guys know what's happening. I mean, you guys all came up with everything right away as soon as I asked. If there was a character summary Like this is
You
mega.
want a context of the Transformers genre, like what the main group is, like
Yeah,
the Autobots, and then a
just a
breakdown of the
picture of
Bractions.
Optimus Prime, and because I couldn't even make it out in the art who was who, because I don't know the Transformers themselves. So if it labeled out who the Transformers were, maybe what their power was, what they transformed to, that might have been a couple pages, but that would have helped me a lot, because I just didn't know who anyone was, and so I got confused. That's the best way. I wanted to like it, I just couldn't follow it.
I think the chat will make you one. There's got to be a Transformers fan in the chat with Photoshop and can bust out a little character breakdown for you.
That's pretty easy breakdowns for you, to be honest. I've been watching.
Adam's volunteering. He'll make you one right now on stream. It'll be a little family tree.
Here's Batman. Here's my top 5 Marvel Omnis for new readers. Nice.
Well, I think it's great. Transformers started with Marvel, and you also had the same thing with Thundercats, that they were originally Marvel products before they ended up going anywhere.
Jess hates Optimus Prime and thus hates America. That I don't even remember. What the hell are you talking about? Here's a good question that has nothing to do with Transformers. Thank you for all your suggestions. What are your favorite Marvel crises? They don't really have crises, but they have events. They used to have too many events.
Yeah, I'm kind of event burnt out.
I don't think I've ever read a Marvel event before, so this is all you guys. I've only read like character specific books.
I really like Devil's Reign.
Oh, good. I have that, and I need to read it. I heard that Axe was really good. I'm trying to read everything. Judgment Day. I'm trying to read everything up to that with the Avengers and X-Men and the Eternals. So,
yeah, I want to read that.
Yeah, actually,
are we including tie-ins or not including tie-ins?
I don't. Well, there's like for Judgment Day Axe, there's material you need to read before it, but it's all one event. But there are tie-ins that are included in the Omni.
Because like I loved Absolute Carnage. I loved the main story, but then some of the tie-ins were like didn't need to be there. Same thing with like King in Black.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that sounds like the issue with King in Black too. I think I haven't read it, but I think if you read the Thor by Jason Aaron run, I've heard good things about War of the Realms. Has anybody read that? Where'd my Raven boys go?
He ran away.
I know.
Did you crowbar him?
I had to jump away real quick for a seltzer, but did anyone mention Annihilation and Annihilation Conquest? And Marvel Cosmic, because as far as Marvel crossovers, I think that's probably my favorite.
I haven't read it yet, so I can't really give feedback. I'm in the process of collecting. I want to get the entire thing because I want to get the War Kings and stuff like that before I start reading that.
I personally think that you're fine. I mean, you're fine just reading the first one on its own. Conquest is really good. Oh,
sorry.
But I was just going to say, I personally think you're good just stopping after Conquest. I don't love War of Kings. I didn't love that whole kind of thing. So I think you're perfectly fine just reading those first two, Annihilation Conquest, and then piecing out of there.
I agree with Bonk. I enjoyed those first two books, and then whatever the third one was where I ran into Nighthawk or whatever his name is, and Darkhawk, yeah, and just
wrecked that he resets your router every time.
and it was I stopped, but I enjoyed Annihilation, and I especially enjoyed Annihilation Conquest.
Well, if something's gonna get broken out of the plastic, we can get Annihilation.
I'm gonna read that next year.
Yep.
Eventually.
I'm on the same page with you, Batman. So I think that's a next year project.
If you want to, oh no, here's Jake. Okay. If you want to,
Sorry, I'm gonna go be a husband for the rest of the night. So I had 3
Okay.
hours. This was a blast. Good night, everybody. We'll send you the gift card, and everyone keep reading and stay brave.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate your being here.
Hey, Jake.
For real. Good night, guys.
Wait, Annihilation Conquest are great.
I'll work on a breakdown for you for Transformers there, Jess.
Okay, thank you. These are great. Bunk really got people back into the Marvel Cosmic.
Well, the fun thing too with the first Annihilation is it was going on like right at the same time as Civil War, and it was like you could. And so at the, Civil War was like the big one that was going on, and it was like really if you wanted to like show your comic book nerddom and like put your glasses up and like be the biggest nerd at the shop. It was like when everyone else is there talking about how good Civil War is, you could like, well, actually, I'm reading the superior crossover event with Annihilation, and like that's how you were like a really good comic nerd. So of course I was the Annihilation guy. Like as everyone was like, oh, you're reading Civil War, are you? Well, I suppose that's fine if you like trite action events. We did that already with the Mutant Registration Act, but I suppose that that's all fine right here. Meanwhile, I'm reading superior comics. That was a lot of fun back then.
I need Civil War to be coming into omnibus format. I'll instantly buy any of those. The entire set.
I will not buy it, so there are more copies for you to buy.
I just need one. That's all I need.
Let's see. Tyler Smith. Yeah, War of the Realms was a good payoff for Thor's Aaron's Thor. Okay, good. Alex puts in a vote for Heroes Reborn. I agree. The Eternals, that's the first book that I read. The Eternals book leading into Acts is very good. It is really, really good. And I'm super interested in where the rest of the prelude stuff goes to take me into Acts.
Speaking of Eternals and Acts, has anyone else here been reading Karen Gillan's new series, The Power Fantasy? It's only in issues right now. It hasn't come out with its first trade, but it's excellent. It's so good. And I'm going to take that as a no. Everyone,
I think I've heard it's good though.
It's Casper Wingard is on the art. I think it might be the best comic I'm reading right now. Like every time it comes out, I'm like, this is so good, and like I don't want it to be as good as it is. Like I didn't want another Kieran Gillen ongoing, and it's great. I don't know when the trade's coming out. I would guess early next year, but like everybody get ready to get it on Hoopla when it comes out and read it and love it because it's that good. But yeah, just because we were talking about Kieran Gillen.
So you read single issues, Bunk?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I have collected editions, but you
muted yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And what was the you called it? It's Power Fantasy.
Power Fantasy.
Okay.
There we go. He's free.
My whole stack of single issues just knocked out my microphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called the Power Fantasy. It's on issue, I want to say 3, just came out a few weeks ago, from Image Comics. Casper Wingard on art. Excellent. It's basically retelling the Cold War, but instead of necessarily like world powers being what dictated, it's the atomic superhumans that sort of set world policy. And it's all about basically the same way that the US and the Soviet Union never directly fought each other. It's about basically a cold detente of these different superhero groups that are sort of keeping each other in check, but are sort of affecting world policy through this time. And then also how world governments are interacting with each other. It's basically, it's a superhero book without sort of the superhero action. And I know that sounds weird, but it's great. It's so good.
Okay.
Interesting.
Planet Hulk and World War Hulk was great. Yeah, Planet Hulk was really good.
Tyler, do you like Greg Pak? Is that a thing? Because if so, this is the first I've heard of it.
Is he the letterer in some of Greg Pak's stuff?
No, but that's one of his absolutely outright favorite comics ever.
Okay. Planet Hulk and World War Hulk.
Yeah, and then not just that, but really all of Greg Pak's run. So then from from there, the stuff that with his son Scar. So and Tyler was actually the one who turned me onto that, because I didn't realize there was more stuff that came out after World War Hulk. And we were talking one night, and he was like, "Yeah, you know about Scar?" And I was like, "Yeah, the planet from World War Hulk." And he's like, "No, there's other stuff there." So he actually turned me onto that.
Okie dokie. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're getting towards the end of the fun here. No, what? A poll is open? I don't even know what. I don't know how to I don't even know. Wait, I'm not even sure I can access it.
I think that was the publisher one. I'm assuming that Jake started that when everyone was going around saying their favorite publisher.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And Torsten, no, I'm not talking about 20th Century Men. I was talking about the Power Fantasy.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Sounds like a spiritual sequel to Watchmen. That must be Power Fantasy.
It's definitely got some elements there. It's and in some ways it is. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a deconstruction of the superhero genre. It's using superheroes to tell a different kind of story. But it definitely, I mean, like most sort of in-depth thinky comics that are coming out now, it definitely owes a lot to Watchmen.
Okay. Well, I am starting to actually run out of steam, but I want to sorry, Mr. Awesome. I don't think I have another hour and a half, 2 hours in me. We can finish with the panel with Tyler Smith's question. This is fair. What's everyone looking forward to the most? Either collected edition, new series, in the next couple months. Does everybody have? Does everybody have anything that they're looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to the One Hand Six Fingers trade paperback that's coming out next month.
Oh, I think Bunk's told me about that.
Bunk has told you about that.
I remember.
Yeah, that's one I read in single issues. It was yeah, it's a really good story. I don't want to say anything more than that.
Yeah, so it's told in two perspectives, right? Like the one hand is told one perspective, and then Six Fingers is someone else's.
So yeah, so
I don't know much about it. I've just heard it's really good, and it sounds really interesting. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. So it came out as two separate miniseries that had separate publishing schedules. So the one hand was Romvi writing a cyberpunk detective story about a detective who is just about to retire, and then literally on his retirement party day, an MO of a serial killer that he put away decades ago and basically made his career on. There's another murder in that style. And it's about him trying to figure out, how can this be? Like, this last guy, he was sure he caught the guy in the act. He knows for a fact that it's that guy, but somehow there's another murder in this style. And then the Six Finger is about the other side of that equation. And so it's the actual killer, and it's sort of these shared events that are happening in the city from each perspective, all in this sort of like cyberpunk setting. Like when I was listening to it, I listened to a lot of like ambient dark wave, and it's like it's so very the solicits say it's like for people who love Seven and Blade Runner, and it feels very like that, especially on the Blade Runner.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that.
Yeah.
Let's see. What am I looking forward to? What I think I have something. Whoops, that's not it.
And of course, all of the DC Finest books. I think I'm going to get all of them.
I remember you said that. Yeah. Those sound a bunch of them sound really good to me too. Is that? No, this was last month's stuff. Yeah, that was last month's stuff. I can't.
Are you stalling for time? Because I was gonna.
No, I can't think of what I'm looking forward to.
Adam, you got anything, or are you looking things? If not, I can go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Thundercats Apex when they're introducing a new Thundercats or a new Thundercat to the group. I was trying to look up and sorry, figuring out what comic book it was.
Is Declan still writing that, or is he off that one now?
No, that's a different writer.
Okay. So is that like a new miniseries then, or is it a continuation of the other one?
It's a new miniseries like the Sitara one.
Okay.
That's Ed Briston. I think that's how you say his name.
Ed Briston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the writer, and then you have Raphael Lobosco. Lobossco. I'm horrible with last names.
Well, maybe it's six finger, one hand, or whatever it is. This sounds really awesome. Will they be packaging them together?
Yeah. So the trade is both of those stories together. So it's because the way that they always described it is it's like there's three stories that are told. There's the story that you get of the detective in the one hand. There's the story you get of the killer in the Six Fingers, and then there's the story of what actually happens when you read the stories together, and you kind of get both going back and forth. And being that it's Rumv, it's more than just sort of like a murder story. There's a bigger thing at play, and I can't say anything more than that.
Well, I think you guys have lit a fire under me. I think I'm looking forward to that book then. When's it coming out? Do you know?
It's next month. But
it is?
I think it might be like Christmas Eve. I think it might be the 24th of December.
Okay. And Image is putting it out? Or who's putting it out? Okay.
Yeah, it's Image.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I am completely out of steam. I appreciate all of you panelists. Thank you. Thank you, Batmantha, for jumping on late. And Bunk, thank you for jumping on. Adam, it's been good to have you here the whole time. And to the chat, thank you for being here. And I hope that Bunk's right. Yoink. There we go. Yeah, there's Samantha Jane Instagram. There we go.
And follow me on TikTok because I'm going to be unboxing this.
Whoa,
folks.
It's so large, but it looks so. Either you are just like crazy strong, which I mean, again, you did train in wrestling, or it's just very light.
It's pretty big, and unfortunately, it arrived when I wasn't home. So someone else had to bring that in and complain about it.
So you didn't get it. You wanted to sneak it in. Okay. I get it. Boy, do I get it. So thank you to the chat. I hope that this provided everybody a little relief from reality, and let's hope tomorrow is an even better day for us all. So keep peace and love with you, and I will use my song to play us out. Thank you all so much. You guys are great, and I really, really appreciate the panel, and I appreciate people in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for that.